don't stick with it, then do you want to?
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Royal Commonwealth Pool here in the heart of Edinburgh. We are here for the final day of action at the Edinburgh International Swim Meet 2025, and as always, we will follow the same format as we have done for the first couple of days. So it's heats pretty much all the way this morning. My name is Paul Noble. I'll be taking you through the action. Alongside me, yet again, Robert Taylor. Morning, Robert. We're back again for another session.
Yeah, the dreaded duo are back together on day 3. So nice to be with you today, Paul. As you can see, that's a session. Similar to what we've had. Usually have about 10, 11 events, 12 events. So we kick off with 1500 free for female athletes. Everything else is heats and finals. 2 heats of freestyle to kick us off, and we don't do the third heat. That's swam in session 9 with all the finals. The fastest athletes go in that one. So
some sprint events early on after the 1500. So we've got the 50 breaststroke for men, which is always exciting, very close. Gregory Butler goes in that one. He had a good swim yesterday. Then the 50 metres butterfly, that'll be fast and furious. Ellen Walsh is in great form, the Swim Ireland swimmer.
Yes,
she will go in there as well. One of the favourites for that one, but there's a big Dutch and Belgian presence in that one as well.
Yeah, very much an international feel for the butterfly one, Paul. No Kiana McInnes or Laura Stephen. They're much stronger on the 200 and to a lesser extent the 100, so they're not taking part in that one. So that'll be an interesting one to look forward to.
Tom Dean, one of our relay Olympic champions, making his first appearance of the weekend in the 100 free. And that's the only event that we'll see Tom Dean this weekend, and should be interesting to look out for him.
Duncan Scott in that one as well, so that will be a good one this morning. 200 backstroke, so that one follows, and that should be an interesting one as well.
Both male and female 200 backstroke, both Britain's representatives in the Olympics. Katie Shanahan, Honey Ursran next to each other in those heats.
And Holly McGill in one of the other earlier heats, so interested to see how she does. She swam pretty well this week. Greenwood or Morgan in the 200 back, along with Cameron Booker. That'll be a good one as well. And of course we've got breaststroke, 200 breaststroke. British champion in Harrod Evans and the Scottish champion Cara Hanlon at it again.
Yeah, it should be good, and of course a few more events to come as well, which we'll bring you up to date with when we come to them, finishing the 200 IM, which is always a nice one to finish this morning's session. So there's the lineup for the very first heat this morning, and it is the 1500 metres freestyle female. So 2 heats of this one that we will enjoy this morning. The fastest heat of this event will go, as Robert said, in the finals session tonight. So there's the lineup. Clara Jeunesse from Repton, closest to us in lane 1. As you look at the pictures, lane 1 is always going to be at the bottom of your screen, and lane 8 at the top of the screen. And those yellow marked lanes you'll see just on the right hand side of the picture at the moment. The bottom of those is lane 4, and the top of those is lane 5. So
it helps us as well, very much.
Definitely helps us as well. But we still manage to get it wrong from time to time. But it's a nice point of reference, these two yellow marks.
You'll see the red markers on the pool. You get a blue or a yellow, and about, well, not about, but 15 metres from the start, you have these little red markers which you'll see there. We'll explain that very shortly. But nice start, Susie McNair in lane 3 is the early leader. Just 7, as Paul says. Normally have a full quota, but someone probably withdrawn from the first of the heats this morning. well, it is a heat, but no, not a final. So important just to go out nice and steady. Don't go out very fast in the first couple of hundred. Otherwise, yeah, you're struggling to keep that going for the full 30 lengths.
That's a long one to start us off with, isn't it? But I tend to see these 1500 metres get a little bit elongated as we go on. The field gets a little bit stretched out, but the times we're looking for the fastest entry time, Abby Mitchell in the centre lane, 17:22.60, and the slowest entry time is the swimmer closest to us, who's actually doing very well in the opening stages, Clara Guinness from Repton, and she's doing pretty well here early on. We've got one of the Canadian juniors in this one, and that's Michelle Zheng. The Canadians have brought a junior team here, and they've been performing really well over the last couple of days, especially in the freestyle events. And even at the end of the individual medleys, the 400 IMs we saw over the last couple of days, and the Canadians have stormed through from time to time in the end of those medleys. So they look very strong on the freestyle events, the Canadians. And Michelle Zheng there in the top of one of those two yellow marked lanes in lane number 5. So watch out for her in the later stages of this one if she's in contention, as if the Canadian tactics play out as they have done over the last couple of days. Some real good prospects from Canada, Robert. 15-year-old Michelle Zheng, she's the youngest in this particular heat.
Yeah, they've got a nice quota of swimmers they've brought over, and as you say, Paul, I've been most impressed the first 2 days. A 400 event, you'll see them not go out slowly for the first 150, 200, but you've got 8 in that field, and they're maybe 7th or 8th early doors. Even at halfway, they're sitting 5th or 6th. But boy, do they know how to finish. From nowhere, they come charging down that final 50, and quite often they take it by quite a wee margin. So don't be surprised if we see the youngster Michelle Zheng come through quite strongly in the last 300 or 400 metres. At the moment she's in about 5th, 6th place. Just bidding her time, I'm sure.
Yeah, Abby Mitchell, I think, might take the lead, is she? Yeah, just by 1/100th of a second. Clara Guinness in second. Susie McNair right in the mix as well. Katie Otterson over there in lane number 7 as they go through the 300 mark. So we'll just have a quick look at the pace. We'll get the calculators out, see if we can make a little bit of a projection. Put Robert on the spot, as always, in the 1500. See if he could give us the benefit of his experience. You are good at it, Robert, though. You are good at these projections from the distance events, even in the early stages. You're never too far away. Abby Mitchell, though, going along nicely, the 19-year-old from Swansea University. And as I said, 17:22 is the entry time for Abby Mitchell. We'll just have a quick look, and it's still pretty close.
Yeah, well, you can
as it comes to the 400 mark.
Yeah, there's 6 swimmers there, and they're all separated by maybe 3 seconds or so. And we're reaching the 400 mark. Well, if you're going to put me on the spot, Paul,
go on then.
Yeah, we're going to go for somewhere round about the 1740 mark, 1745. I think they've got to start picking the pace up, otherwise it's going to be slower than that.
1745, yeah, that's...
I'd like to hope 1745 is not out with our elms here.
Well, most of the swimmers have got entry times faster than that 1745. A couple of the outside lane ones.
1740-ish should be achievable.
Of course, in a 1500, tenths of seconds, to multiply them up for all the hundreds makes big differences, don't they?
At the moment, a Canadian youngster in 6th place. She's a wee bit off the pace of the leader.
I just wonder about a long, hard weekend for a lot of the swimmers. A lot of the swimmers been doing multiple events, and the Canadians, of course, a long way to travel, and that, so maybe starting to take its toll a wee bit, possibly in the weekend.
Especially at that age, 15, 16. I have been working very hard the first couple of days. Day 3 will be, let's try and do the very best we can. And
I remember going down to some events down south, maybe the British Championships or whatever. It's a 4-day event, and you get the youngsters, 14, 15-year-olds, they all come in day 1. Whoa, fantastic, what brilliant. This is great, great experience or whatever. By the time it comes to day 4, it's like, boom, zonk. The energy has gone. Burnt out. So let's hope that's not happened to the Canadian junior team, because they've been really, really successful. And we'll just keep an eye on these times. But the front of the field there, going out very well. Katie Otterson right at the top there. She's just 16 years of age, a Newcastle swimmer. Just down the road, down the A1. And Newcastle regular visitors here to Edinburgh. There's a lot of teams from the northeast of England. It's quite an easy little drive up for them. Yeah,
and they're pretty good at distance events as well, to be fair, Paul. Morpeth, Newcastle. We'll obviously see a lot of Borough Stockton swimmers. They seem to specialise more so in the butterfly than the freestyle, but they're all pretty good at these distance events.
And Katie Otterson going very well. They are out in lane number 7. We're coming to the 650 metre mark, so when they come up to that top end for the next time, they will be at the halfway point. Susie McNair moving into 2nd position. You just see the splits there. Those of you that have been tuned in the last couple of days will know that the split times for the previous 50, for the last 50 swum by the swimmer, will appear on the screen. So it gives us, again, a little bit of an idea of who's going fastest in the pool. Katie Otterson, we'll see if she's extended her lead here against Susie McNair as they go in there. See, Otterson 35.42, Susie McNair 35.41, so pretty much of a muchness. McNair just closing by 1/100th of a second, so not really making any inroads to the lead of Katie Otterson at the minute. And as they come up to the halfway point, Katie Otterson looking very, very good indeed. I mean, she is one of those swimmers. You said 17:45, Robert.
Well, she's one of those. Yeah, 17:40, 17:45.
She's entry time 17:47, so this will be a good swim from Katie Otterson if she can get this going.
Yeah, she's actually beginning to just pick it up a wee bit more. So I think we're looking a lot faster than 17:40 now, Paul. Every chance it will be inside the 17:30, 17:25 range. Susie McNair, if she's, I'm not saying she's tapered for this event, she'll still be in hard training, but if she's not in too hard training and she's up for it, she does have a very strong second half of the race. So don't be too surprised if she just comes back slowly but surely at Katie. So
she's got a slower stroke rate, I think. Katie's a lot higher stroke rate. She's expending maybe a little more energy. But Katie certainly up the top there, Katie Otterson, not really going to the legs too much, just a balancing kick that she's got there. 10 minutes gone of this one, and Katie Otterson just extending that lead by 0.3 of a second over Susie McNair. And they'll come down to the 900 range, the 900 mark, as they hit this bottom end. And it is getting a little bit stretched out now. Katie Otterson and Susie McNair 1 and 2. A little bit of a tussle on between Abby Mitchell in those yellow marked lanes in lane 4 and Kaylin Hall from University of Aberdeen Performance. They are in that little scrap for 3rd position.
Yeah,
and also a scrap there as well for 5th, Clara Guinness and Michelle Zeng. Pretty close to each other there, with Sana Lefala from Repton in lane number 6 in 7th position.
Well, you just kind of feel that our Canadian junior in this one, maybe just feeling the first 2 days racing. She's still putting a fairly good performance in the race, but maybe not quite what she'd hoped for. But it's all good experience for Michelle. With the 2 leaders, not much change in that gap, Paul. Susie's not closing it, but she's not being left behind. She's still within, a few seconds, so still a fair part of the race still go, reaching the 2/3 mark.
She might not even be aware of Katie Otterson right out there. I mean,
yeah.
They'll be swimming their own race. They'll have their own tactics, of course. I just wonder if Katie Otterson might be aware of Susie McNair and vice versa, because they're separated by 5 lanes there.
Yeah.
So they might be able to see a little splash, or potentially be aware of who's over there. But it's a long way, so they might not even be aware of each other, Robert.
No. There's roughly 2.5 seconds of a gap between the 2. It's not a lot, so Susie only has to make up roughly half a second for every 100. Well, she's made up half a second there, but we'll see what happens in the next 50. Because Katie sometimes pulls out that little bit extra in the next 50. And we're back to where we were.
Well, it was a great head-on shot that we saw there. Just you saw the pace, the technique there of Katie Otterson. And there's another close-up of her. That high stroke turnover, and she's keeping that going very, very well indeed.
And you see the breathing action. It's breathing literally on 2. Head. There you are. Whereas Susie's, as you say, an awful lot slower. Breathing hopefully on 3. That's what I like to see when they're in the water. And I think some of the coaches like to see them breathing every 3rd stroke so that they can look either side, see where the opposition is, also see where their coach is, so that the coach can give a wee bit encouragement from the side. Well, we're down to 2 seconds roughly. Susie's just gradually clawing that back. I'd say she's a wee bit stronger in the second half. National age group champ, runner-up last year at Snags, and her time comes from British Summer Championships, where she finished 6th. So Katie 35.66, 35.67, so second and a half or so between the 2, with 300 to go, Paul?
300 to go, I think, yeah.
Very much the race is on.
Yeah.
Maybe don't quite realise the gap between the 2 of them.
And Katie's done a great job here, Katie Otterson. She's still keeping that pace going. It's been pretty consistent. Let's see this one, 36 now. I think that's the first time she's just dipped into the 36 range, and Susie McNair just made up half a second there. So, yeah, the race is very much on here, and I think Susie McNair might be slight favourite here, just with the momentum.
Well, on paper, she's 20 seconds roughly faster than Katie. Well, did I say 1740-ish, 1745?
Yeah, not going to be.
I might not be far out for that, Paul.
Yeah, that's going to be there or thereabouts, isn't it?
There's half a second between them, and you kind of think that Susie McNair, a wee bit more experience, is going to get the job done now. Oh, it's a good one. This is what swimming's all about. You know, these distance events always get, not always, but very regularly get very tight finishes. Especially in the last 50 metres. Well, Susie McNair has clawed back a wee bit more, and they're almost together, Paul.
Yeah, Susie McNair, I think, is the favourite now, but you never know. They will get the bell at the bottom, and that will give them some encouragement. I'm sure it always does.
Yeah, you can see the legs kicking in with Katie, whereas Susie's just delayed that a wee bit. But still with the younger swimmer over on the far side. She's picked up as best she can. The 300's in it. Susie McNair, though, just looks that wee bit stronger, Paul.
Yeah, she's beginning to just stretch out there. Katie Orison still keeping that high stroke rate going. Don't write her off just yet. It's going to all come down to the touch, I think. I'm not sure they'll be aware of each other, as I said, but they're giving us a good race with this head-to-head battle. Well, Katie Alderson and Susie McNair. Alderson's still ahead there.
She's giving it that wee bit extra. And we're certainly going to get a 17:40-ish time here.
Yeah, it's going to be there or thereabouts for that. I think Katie Alderson might just have this one, possibly.
I think she's hungry. She's got that faster stroke rate, which might just prevail at the end. Legs going really 10 to the dozen down the final 15 metres. A great swim from the Newcastle youngster. What a swim. All on the outside lane, having to do all the hard work. All on her own. Same is true for Susie.
Michelle Zing.
Well,
did pick up there as well as we thought she might. The Canadian certainly got something left in the tank. Look at that, 32.75, fastest in the pool.
They know how to
final
finish.
50.
Yeah, they certainly do. Well done, Michelle.
17:53. Katie Alderson, improvement on her entry time by almost 5 seconds. You'll be delighted with that one. That was an excellent swim. The rest are slightly outside their entry times, but not too far away for some of the swimmers in there. It's a good contest. Katie Otterson, though, was excellent in the outside lane. She swam her own race and she got her reward, 17:42.35. Good finish from the Canadians, and they are represented by 4 swimmers, the Canadian junior team, in this second heat. Paige Stepanov, who again is another one who's impressed us. She's closest to us.
Indeed.
Lane 1. 2 from Derwent side and Gateshead. That's Talia Staines and Alice Forrest. They go in 2 and 3. Naomi Minot from Canadian junior team in the centre lane in 4, next to Emily Forward from Swansea University. Ella Smith from Borough of Stockton goes in 6, and 2 more of the Canadian juniors, the 2 15-year-olds, Ellie Wise and Abigail McLeod, they go in 7 and 8. Just looking at have a little profile sheets on the Canadians. Ellie Wise was the age group champion for, must be guessing at 15-year-olds possibly. Abigail McLeod was second in the Canadian age group championships, and Paige Stepanov 4th. Wonder who was 3rd.
No idea.
They don't seem to be here.
Naomi Myatt was runner-up in age group championships as well. Both Naomi and Paige, both 16, so different age groups, I suppose, Paul. But
that makes sense, Robert.
Yeah.
Good job you're here.
Yeah. Sorry, I get accused of being the numbers guy.
No, everybody needs a numbers guy.
Yeah. Paige Stepanov, as we've said, Paul, been very impressive. They all have been very impressive, the Canadian team. She's our early leader. Keep your eye out for lane 3 though. Alice Forrest, she comes up, she's been coming up to the meets in Scotland fairly regularly over the last few years. Derwentside and Gateshead. And as we said in the first heat, we do get a good contingent of swimmers from the northeast of England who love coming up and doing these distance events, and they seem to just have a gravy train of them all. Yeah. I wish they could maybe just change their allegiance and change nationalities. We've got a few, but not maybe the depth that some of the areas down in England have.
Yeah, some good swimmers coming through. You said, Robert, in England and in Scotland as well. A lot of events going on. You know more than most. You were telling me that probably about 3/4 of your weekends last year were taken up with various swimming events across the country. In Scotland, you're a stalwart of the Scottish swimming scene, Robert.
Well,
you see the talent coming through.
I do get the benefit of going to a lot of West District events and the odd one in the East, and occasionally in the Midlands. So yeah, I'm often commentating, which is the best place to see all the action. But a lot of the times I'm also poolside officiating because I'm a referee for my sins. So we did mention that wee marker, that red marker, that's 15 metres out. For all the events, for those of you listening in, swimmers will dive, or if they're doing backstroke, obviously come off the wall. And at that 15 metre mark, both on backstroke, butterfly and freestyle, the swimmer's head must be above the water before that 15 metre mark. If they go beyond it, it's an automatic disqualification. And you're probably wondering, what about breaststroke? Doesn't matter. You could have a wonderful dive, do your first pull, and if you manage to get 20 metres, 25 metres under the water before you've surfaced, brilliant.
But you can't do another pull.
But you can't do another pull. But you can go beyond the 15 metres on the breaststroke, and the very same, you'll see that red marker, 15 metres the other end, the same applies. Some very good swimmers will get right up to the margin, especially on the backstroke. Very, very efficient.
Well, I mean,
it's working the turns.
I remember when they changed the rules in backstroke, especially. I think when the Olympics, I think it was maybe 88. I think that the guys in the Olympic final, they just pretty much went underwater, and they swam underwater for about 40 metres or something, popped up, did the turn, were able to swim underwater for another, 20 metres, 25 metres coming back, and then popped up again. So it was hardly backstroke, it was almost underwater stuff, and that's why they changed the rules.
It's very much a teaching thing as well. The coaches will encourage their swimmers, if possible, to get as far off the wall, because if you don't have to do much swimming, then it's great, especially short course. A 25 metre pool, the same applies. So you get 14 a bit metres, then you surface, you do a few strokes, you get to the end, a tumble turn, you get another 13, 14 metres. You're hardly swimming at all.
Yeah, I mean, all these skills, starts and turns, underwater work, just have to maximise absolutely everything to make sure that you can go the fastest, you can post that fastest time. And I mean, of course, some people don't have not great underwater. I mean, I do a lot of para swimming, commentating a lot of para swimming. People that don't have good leg kicks, if they've got good arm strokes, little point in staying underwater trying to use your leg kick. You need to pop up and get your good arms working as soon as possible. So there's considerations like that. Everybody's individual, and you have to work out for yourself what's best for you, and listen to what the coaches tell you. I think that's the message.
I think the expert on that, as far as recently Scottish-wise, Tane Bruce, who was very, very good both at butterfly and at backstroke. Wasn't the first time I disqualified her when she got beyond the 15-metre mark when I was poolside, but you know, some of them push it as best they can, and if they get away with it and nobody spots it, well, it does happen. Naomi Myatt, Paige Stefanoff, a little between the two, but a second and a half ball, and Myatt's going pretty efficiently now. The 16-year-old Canadian who was runner-up in her age group. Paige Stefanoff was behind her in 4th place, so those two 16-year-olds at the moment, 1st and 2nd.
Any predictions on time, Robert? You were pretty good last time.
We're probably going to go for about a 17:20, just inside 17:20.
So the two Canadians there, they lead at the 6:50 mark. Come up to this top end again. The next time it'll be the halfway point, and it's pretty close for 2nd position. Not much really in it for the 2nd, but Naomi Myatt is the one who is leading them through. Closest to us, Paige Stefanoff, just ahead of Talia Staines and Alice Forrest, the two Derwentside and Gateshead swimmers, and also going well in 5 is Emily Forward from Swansea University, and over there in 7 as well, Ellie Wise. So it's pretty close between, well, 5 lanes really. Outside lane is Abigail McLeod.
Don't necessarily discount Ellie Wise over in lane 7. I think she's about 6th, Paul, 5th or 6th.
Yeah, it's pretty close, isn't it?
She's trying to get herself back into the mix.
It's halfway now, Robert.
Yeah.
Let's see the splits. 34-6, 34, 35, 34. Pretty much of a muchness, really.
Well, we should be in
all high 34s, low 35s for all those swimmers.
17:20 is certainly doable for Naomi. If anything, I'd like to see her just dipping fractionally under that. 8:38 at halfway. We've had the odd swimmer doing negative splits, especially the Canadians have been very efficient at that. They've gone out steadily and built on that early start and finished like a train. You like your trains, Paul? We've got 3 almost in a row here. Emily Forward
5, yeah.
now trying to pick it up that wee bit in lane 5. As you can see, Emily Wise over in 7. Also trying to get herself back into the mix. Myatt's going really well, Paul. She's best part of 4 seconds clear.
Yeah, she's probably the fastest in the pool there, as you can see, 34.5 against 34.7. So she is extending the lead, but we'll keep an eye on those splits. And it's good that the field is quite close, so we can get a number of the splits, because if there is one thing about our graphics system, the times disappear after I think it's 10 seconds after the first swimmer, so it's good that it's close. And sometimes in the distance races you're only getting 1 or 2 times by the time it disappears, but this one's pretty good. We're getting top 5 or 6 there before it actually disappears from the screens, which is good stuff indeed. So keep it close, swimmers, and we'll be able to get those split times. But maybe making a move now. Is Emily Forward just closing possibly on the leader?
Yeah, she's just beginning to try and wind it up that wee bit. She's got about half a second that she clawed back on that last 50. And Myatt has reacted, little in it in that one. You also see that the other youngster over on the far side, Ellie Wise, she was sitting 6th, she's now gone 4th, and I fancy very shortly she'll be 3rd. And whether she can actually pick up the pace a bit more than the other two. She's picked up her own pace and swimming a lot faster than she was earlier on, but she's got to probably get it another half a second. And there we are. Forward just picking it up. As you can see, Ellie Wise is going faster than she has, sub 35s, but it's just a fraction slower than the leading two swimmers, but she's gone third.
We're only at the 2/3 stage as well. That was a 1,000 metre mark, so still a long way to go here.
Indeed.
So good finish in prospect here. Really Wise, as you said, starting to come back a little bit. Sometimes that angle for our camera is a little bit deceptive. The splits are probably a better indication in terms of that. It's a little bit, once they level out, you'll be able to see the gap. And Naomi Minor still with that lead, still with clear water between her and Emily Forward in second place. Ellie Wise and Talia Staines side by side. Paige stepping off. You wouldn't write her off to be challenging for that third or fourth position. They come down to the 1100, 400 to go. A mid 34s for Naomi Minor. She's stretched that lead very slightly.
Yeah, she just has reacted that wee bit. She's maybe, when she got towards the turn, maybe seen that that gap had dropped down a bit, so just picked the pace up again. But they've been very good at picking the pace up in the last half or so of the race, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. And Naomi Minor and the other Canadians have had quite a tough schedule of events, haven't they? They've had the 800 freestyles, the 400s, the 200s, the individual medley events, had 2 and 400 individual medley events. And I think that some of the Canadians, most of the Canadians have done maybe 2 events per session at least. So, you know, you've got to make it worth your while if you're travelling that way, but it's a tough schedule.
You'd want to do, ideally you do want 1 and possibly 2 a session. If you can do 2, you don't want to do any more than 2. And the trouble is, you then qualify for junior finals, which is what they're consistently been doing, which is great to see. That's what we want them doing when they're coming over and performing at this high level. So if they get a junior final or 2 finals in the evening, and they've had five swims that day, and they've all been very demanding, because they've gone out strongly, both in the heats and also in the final. Day 3 will be a challenge for them. Good experience as well for them. That's why they're here.
Well, no final in this one, of course. Heat declared winner, so this is the one and only chance they have to swim this 1500 freestyle. And Naomi Minor making the most of that one. She looks like she's probably got this one sewn up now. As they're going to come down. It's only a short distance left, only a couple of hundred to go. When they get down to this bottom end, they're going to be around about bang on the 1500 metre mark, 15 minute mark, I should say.
Yeah. So
at 1300 metres gone, 34.55 Forward in second, Ellie Wise in third, and a little bit of a tussle closest to us with Talia Staines and Paige Stepanoff in 1 and 2.
But you can see the last 200 metres, they really do get to work, Paul. I'm expecting something round about 17-16 finish or better.
It's not going to be too bad. Naomi Minor 17:09.99. There's the entry time. Emily Forward 17:11.43. And it's all pretty tight in terms of entry. The slowest entry was Abigail McLeod up there at the top, 17:17. So all pretty close in terms of entry times. But it looks like Naomi Minor is going to be one of the couple that are going to be close to those entry times, I think.
Yeah, she's 17:20. I did expect something under 17:20. I'm now expecting maybe 17:13 finish. She's flying down the final 100. 65 or 66 finish It's certainly achievable, maybe even faster than that. The third swimmer, nearly wise, also trying to get a nice strong finish as well. The three of them, as you say, Paul, are not going to be all that far off their entry times. 17:09.99, or virtually 17:10 entry time. So maybe 3 seconds over that will be a cracking swim. Nice head shot, head on shot. The head just coming fractionally out the water to catch her breath.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Good swim. She swam and won that one from the front. Naomi Mount, 17:15.05. Emily Forward holds on with a fast finishing Ellie Wise, 31:59. Oh, good contest for fourth place. Just won by Paige Stefanoff by 1/100th of a second. My goodness. He swam for 17.5 minutes, just split by 1/100.
You can see how competitive the Canadian junior team are. Paige was a wee bit back on fifth, and there she was hungry. She wanted fourth place. Extra place was important, and you can see the finish time, 31:59 for Ailey Wise, the 15-year-old, flying at the death. Nearly got second.
Yeah, coming back all the time, Ailey Wise, as the final swimmer comes to complete the distance. That's Ella Smith in there, just over the 18-minute mark. So, good swim at the front of the field there by Naomi Mount. She led the entire way. Emily Forward in second. She did challenge for a brief moment around about the 2/3 mark, but the Canadian junior was too strong in the end. So first place to Naomi Mount, second place to Emily Forward of Swansea University. So we're at 3 heats of the 1500, but we won't see that third heat until tonight, so we can move to the other end of the pool, onto the sprint events now. All the races finish at the bottom end of the pool, as you look at it, the left hand side on your screen. So all the 50 events will start at the top end. So on the 50 breaststroke, 7 heats of this men's 50 breaststroke, and 5 swimmers in the first heat. David Smith, Dundee City Aquatic, Rory Webster from Dumfries, Callum Aitchison, University of Aberdeen Performance, Logan Ward, Stirling University, and Jack Wallace from University of Aberdeen Performance. 30.79, the fastest into this one, and that's Callum Aitchison in that centre lane.
Probably one of the few heats that's purely Scottish-based swimmers.
Yeah, it's a close contest, isn't it, as they go
through
halfway. And, well, not much to choose between anyone here. Rory Webster close to us in lane number 3. In the middle might just take this one. And he just gets in. It is Rory Webster, 31:22. Wins it by 0.3 of a second, so it's a pretty clear win in the end there. Aitchison in second, and Smith in third position, just 5/100ths ahead of Wallace. So 31:22 for Webster, Robert. Not a bad start.
Pretty good start, yeah. Nice to get us underway. So our second heat, we have in first Wickham District in 1, Aidan Fothergill, Nicholas Land, Dylan Mitchell, Luke Jansen, Johnny Martin, Noor Ahmed, and Lachlan Small. No swimmer goes in 1. So times in this are 30:34 to 30:73. Lane 7 maybe. Noor Ahmed, Ren 96 swimmer I don't know very much about. He's obviously come into the UK and joined the Ren Club over the other side of Glasgow, and finishing very strongly indeed. Lanes 8 and 6, yep. The far side take it. Noor Ahmed, I'll be delighted with that swim. Sub 30, great to see that. 29 96. Lachlan Small improves on his entry time, 30.59 and 56.30.59 for Johnny Martin, just virtually on his entry time.
His lineup for the next heat, heat number 3, Jack Mitchell, Lewis Kangelis, Donald Bissett, Harper Whitehead, Robson Miles, Benjamin McAvoy, Ewan Weir and Finlay Sang. So again, this is maybe an all Scottish based heat as well. City of Glasgow, Robson Miles, and Stirling Swims, Harper Whitehead in the centre lanes, but maybe Donald Bissett off to a good start there in lane number 3, and also going well in lane number 2 is Kangelis.
Finlay Chang's going well though, Paul, in the far side.
Yep, it could be lane number 8 going well at the Glasgow swimmer.
That one.
29.85 for him.
There were a lot of swimmers in lane 8 yesterday, Paul, coming in and taking heats quite consistently.
Yeah, lucky lane 8.
Not too many, thankfully, in lane 1, which is right on our commentary position. It's a wee bit harder to spot lane 1. So our apologies if we miss anyone in that lane throughout the morning. We'll do our very best, as we always do. Scott McDougall, Nathaniel Shimubi, Conor Mitchell, Alexander Turnbull, Matthew Garrity, Gibson Yang, Mika van Vliet and Sam Williamson. 29.26 to 29.96. So another fast start. Far side going pretty well. Lane 8 again, Sam Williamson. I think they've done this deliberately, Paul. Also going well on the near side in lane 1, Scott McDougall. It's McDougall, it's the 2 outside lanes, McDougall and Williamson. 1 and 2. Nathaniel Shibubi in 2, finishing in 3rd. Well, 30.08 and 30.11, 30.33 for Shinobi. All slower in their entry time, but again, the 2 outside lanes getting it done.
I don't expect the outside lanes to feature in these ones. We're into the cyclically seeded heats here. So the fast swimmers will be in the centre. Luca Janssen, Charles Hallett, Evo Cruz, Gregory Butler, Jonathan Itzaki, William Tonks, Liam O'Connor, Noah De Shriver. We've seen some of the swimmers who have featured in the shake-ups for the medals in the super finals in the breaststroke event. Butler was one of the top performers here in the last couple of days. He's been on the medal podium for the other 2 breaststroke events. Jonathan Itzak off to a good start, so as we suspected, it might be the centre lanes a feature here. Of course, top 8 times from all the heats will qualify for that super final, and Itzaki looks like he has possibly clinched that place in that final. That's going to be tough to beat. Butler just getting ahead of Cruz by 1/100th, and that might be vital, Robert, when they come to hand out the top 8 places.
Those fractions all make a big difference. Our second seeded heat, Joshua Mitchell, Nave Dobson, Alex Meyer, Archie Goodburn, Rory Dixon, Marcos Ikavidis, Easton Brovik, Bergen and Wacky Reid, Irishman in lane 8. Nice to see Archie Goodburn on the breaststroke. This is first or his only event over the weekend. Also going strongly is Rory Dixon and Marcus Ikavidis. Cypriot in lane 6 coming through to challenge him, but I think Rory Dixon maybe just takes this from Archie. No, Archie just stretched, got the touch, 20.54. I thought Rory should have won that one, but Dixon 28.62, just a 100 faster, I think, than
100 faster than the previous one.
Taking 3rd.
So those 2 should be safe enough into that final.
2 should be good enough, and you kind of think that probably the first 3, maybe in that first heat, should be good enough.
Well, last heat now, let's see where let's go. Callum Melville, Harvey Freeman, Owen Corby, Cone de Groot, Lumen Viano, Wojciech Nitra, Dimitrios Sagiakos, and Joshua Press. That's the lineup for this final one. Well, we've got 5 swimmers in the 28-second range. Top 8, of course, will progress to that super final. Who is going to make the move here? Koen de Groot looking very good. The Netherlands swimmer. Lumen Viano in lane number 5 as well. Owen Corby missed out on the A final yesterday, and that was a little bit of a surprise. He's trying to make amends and be in this final tonight, and he's going to be second, I think, behind Koen de Groot and Owen Corby and Lumen Viano. Well, 4 under the 28-second mark, but I think the 4th place person might just miss out there because top 3 are in, I think.
Convinced the top 3 are in without any real problem.
It's a clear win there from Koen de Groot, I think.
Confirm that provisional A final.
Yeah, there we are.
De Groot
and
Jonathan McCackey, Archie Goodburn, Aaron Corby, Rory Dixon, Gregory Butler, Aaron Cruz, and Lumen Viano. Our provisional B final. Oye Nair, Dave Dobson, Charles Hallett, Luca Janssen, William Tonks, Harvey Freeman, Dimitrios Talagogos, and Marcus Ikovida. Our provisional reserves are Alex Meyer and Lucky Reid. Juniors who will be potentially back tonight depending on what happens this afternoon. Finlay Chang, Connor Mitchell, Lachlan Small, Johnny Martin, Royce Kringelis, Dylan Mitchell, Ewan Weir, and Nicholas Lang. Rory Webster potentially first reserve on 31.22, and that's all the juniors took part this morning. Their positions after the swims. There will be opportunities for juniors to try and get into that junior final this afternoon. So 50 butterfly, Anna Dunlop, Dumfries, Eva Dougherty-Repton, Natalie Marshall, West Lothian, and Heidi Wren from City Glasgow. 29.18 to 29.40. Well, pretty close at 15 to go. Well, Heidi Wren maybe over the far side, but it's very tight. Lane 4, Eve Dougherty, and just touches out Heidi Wren, 29.20, just inside her entry time. Heidi Wren also inside her entry time, and Anna Dunlop taking third. Oh, pretty tight, Paul. Another good race.
Yeah, Dougherty just 2 100 shy of her entry time. Nice singer. Lucy, Christoph, Marie Wood, Coco Croxford, Orla McInnes, Alice Cumming, Ashley Drake, and Asma Lafahar. That's a lineup for this second heat. The entry times 28.7 to 29.1, so just split by 0.4 of a second, the whole field. And Marie Wood off to a good start, I think, and also lane 1 as well. May Singer going well in this inside lane. Again, all to watch out for right across the pool. We're not at the cyclically seeded heat yet. It might be 1 or 7. It is May Singer and Ashley Drake. They come in first, 28.35. That's a big improvement there from May Singer, and she's impressed us there with that swim, 0.6 of a second faster, and that's a big drop on a 50-metre fly.
Our third heat, Leila Weatherspoon from Heart of Midlothian, Charlotte Williams, Surrey University, Emma Alson from Tabby Sim in Sweden, Jade Blake, Stirling University, Emma Crocker, Loughborough, 6, Ellie Kennington, Plymouth Leander, 7, Chloe Harris, Edinburgh University, and Kalila Smith from Aberdeen is in lane number 8. (28.46 to 28.63). 27 will be the target, I'm sure, for a lot of these girls to try and get to. Nice start in lanes 3 and 5. Emma Nelson and Emma Crocker. It's very, very close indeed inside the final few metres. It might just be Olsen from lane 2, Charlotte Williams. In fact, Charlotte Williams taking third, Chloe Harris over in 7. Slipped in to take third, 28-12, Alston. Harris 28-43 and 28-49 for Williams. Another tight race there.
Yeah, next one up is heat number 4. There's the lineup. Lola Lacontelec, Ailsa Clubs, Heron, Talentire, Catherine Renfrew, Madeline Robertson, Medi Harris, Izzy McGrath, and Angelina Rollman. Again, very close in terms of entry, only 0.2 of a second. Oh, a little bit of a delay here. So, not sure why that was, but hopefully we'll get underway.
Yeah, maybe a wee bit noise at the bottom end, perhaps, Paul.
So, here we go. Second time of asking, and they are away. And we'll see who is first to show here. Another good start right up there in lane number 8. And that is Roman, Angelina Roman. Also going well is 6, Medi Harris, the Loughborough swimmer. My feature is in the GB team in recent years, Medi Harris, and she might come home in front here. She does in 27.38. Well done, Medi Harris. Almost a second improvement on that entry time, so that is impressive, and that's given her a little bit of a shout, certainly maybe for one of the B finals, Robert. That's a possibility there.
That's a strong possibility. My apologies, I didn't actually see Laura Stevens' name on the list, but she is actually in lane 3, not in the seeded, well, she's in the seeded heats, but not in the centre of the lane, so that's why I missed it. My apologies, everyone. Clara Morris, Faith Yuda, Laura Stephen, Emily Halkvist, Lucy Grieve, Celine Jyoti, Lucy O'Brien and Josephine Klein. This is the first of the 3 seeded heats, and expect the 2 middle lanes really to be there or thereabouts. Laura Stephen will try and give it everything to qualify if she can from lane 3, and she's certainly in the mix. Emily Halkvist, the Swedish swimmer, looks as though she's got this. Laura Stephen just by 100th in second place ahead of Lucy Grieve. That could be significant, 27.02.
Yeah, Medi Harris was in a very good position. She was just at 100th ahead of Laura Stevens there in that previous heat. And here's heat number 6, 27 low. Looks like it might be the target for certainly the super final. Eva Roseboom, Alana Atkin, Harriet Rogers, Rose Van Otterdyke, Ellen Walsh, Florence Gaspard, Eloise Cole, Maisie Elliott. Some fast swimmers in this one. Gaspard has been fast in lane number 6. Van Otterdyke's had a couple of good swims as well. Ellen Walsh has been on sparkling form. Harriet Rogers is right there as well, but I think it might be Van Otterdyke, Walsh and Gaspard as they come into the closing stages here. And a very good swim at the front for Van Otterdyke, 26.11. Great swim there from the Svenfeld swimmer, and that'll certainly be one of the favourites for the final, 27.08. I
think the first 4 home will potentially be in the final. Maybe Harriet Rogers is on the cusp on a 27.29, was it, Paul? Sorry, 26.29. Our final heat: Ellie Robertson, Abigail McKerney, Barbara Yanokova, Maeve DeVord, Eva O'Carroll, Isabella O'Carroll, Becky Watson, Annabelle Crompton. So inside the final 20, Caro in 5, but now being overtaken by Mia Devard, Dutch swimmer. That's going to be the 1-2, and in lane 3, Ambra Yanakova takes third, 26.65.
So Van Otterdijk looks like she's going to lead the way into the final. It'll be 27 point, I think, for the A final. There we go. Harriet Rogers does make it in 27.29, but that was mighty close there in terms of who's qualifying. In terms of the B final, Medi Harris first there in the B final. And that was an excellent swim there from not one of the seeded heats. Celine Jyoti makes it in 28.17. And Alana Burns-Atkin just misses out. She'll be reserved for that B final along with Catherine Renfrew and a few juniors as well. That, of course, we've got the youth final, so we've got that to look forward to as well, Robert.
Yeah, we'll just quickly run through that. Roos van Otterdijk, Mieke Buvard, Eva Okara, Emily Hawksford, Florian Gaspard, Barbara Yanokova, Ellen Walsh, Harriet Rogers, that's provisional. Super final, Medi Harris, Laura Stephen, Lucy Grieve, Isabella O'Carroll, Abigail McKerney, Elise Cole, Emma Olsen, and Celine Jolly. Provisional reserves, Anna Burns-Atkin and Catherine Renfrew. Juniors that have qualified would be Catherine Renfrew, Angela Roman, Lucy O'Brien, Sam Talentine, Annabelle Crompton, Ellie Kennington, Ashley Drake, Ella Weatherspoon, Lola de Quintelli, Lily Robertson, provisional reserves. So it's 100 free Paul, 6 seats, first one, Thomas Excel Loughborough in 1, Leon Molan, Stirling University 2, 3, Harry Robinson, Isle of Man, 4, Tomar Schuster from Israel, 5, Retso Tonajo from the Netherlands, 6, Zachariah Dale from Repton, and 7, Aaron Onkers, Stirling University. Strong start by lane 5, the Dutch swimmer, Enzo Tonajo. Entry time of 50.96, and he's storming down this one. Going to win this by some margin, Paul. Probably improving that entry time. Well, 50.33. Takes a good half a second or more off that entry time. Schuster 51.58 and Molan 51.72.
Yeah, he was very good on the 50 freestyle. He's followed that up with a good 100 freestyle swim. There's the line up for the second heat. Evan Galimichon from Grenoble, Falamana Tufui from Marseille, Matthew Hamilton from Tavistock comes in 3, Arvin Chahal from Stirling University in 4, next to Cormac Gryn from Swim Ireland, who goes in 5, Daniel Genkas Loughborough in 6, Harry Milne Ripton in 7, Jacob Ostervol Harlem from Bergens in the outside lane. All these swimmers in the 50-second range. They'll be hoping to dip under that 50-second mark there. Nice barrier for them to break. Jacob Ostervol Harlem, another one who had a very good 50 swim, and he's off like an absolute bullet here in the outside lane. Let's see what the split is for him in 24.04. He's 0.36 ahead of everyone else in the field. Can he hold that one? Very good turn, and he's back heading for home now. It is Falamana Tufui. So in lane number 2, coming through in 4 very strongly is Arvan Shahal, but I'm not sure they're going to catch Ostervol Harlem in the outside lane. Let's have a check of this time. Is he going to dip under? Oh, just over the 50-second mark. 2 100s faster than the first heat. So we've seen some excellent swims to start us off with. 2 great swims, just over the 50-second mark in the first 2 heats. Wow.
Great swim from the Norwegian out in the outside lane. 3. Paul Alves Torres from Marseille in 1. Harry Robinson, Loughborough in 2. Stefan Kravitz, Edinburgh University in 3. 4. Joe Watterson from the Isle of Man. 5. Orléans Deschamps from Marseille. Angel Gianni from Loughborough in 6. Findlay Club, Edinburgh University in 7. And Oliver Watts, Loughborough in 8. 50-50 to 50-70. 0.2 separate them, Paul. That's on entry times anyway. But Harry Robinson in 2 possibly might be the half-time leader. 24-26. A wee bit faster than the previous heat, Paul. So we might get someone nipping under 50 here. Still very tight. I think it's the near side still with the advantage. Angel Giannaccini coming through strongly in lane 6. And Coutinho might just take this one at the death. It's tight. Coutinho takes that, lane 3 and 2. Well, I thought Coutinho had got that, but it is actually lane 3, Stefan Kravis, who takes that in a 51-25.
I thought Six had taken it as well, Robert.
It looked fast, but faster than the previous heat. A blanket finish. 51-29, 51-35, 51-46. Kravitz, Robinson, and Torres. And continued being touched out. Joel Watterson in lane 4 was actually. I
think they're going to amend the time here.
I did actually get it right. Thank you.
I thought it was a
my
pretty clear victory there.
It looked as though he'd won it, but I had to go with what was on the board initially. 51-06. Coutinho takes that. That sometimes happens, Paul. You hit the pad, it doesn't register properly, but we do have backup systems that will validate was that actually a soft touch, and that's what's happened. So Coutinho takes that.
There's not an issue with the pad. Let's hope it just was a soft touch. But the fourth heat is the first of the cyclically seeded heats. Thomas Leggett from Ireland in 4. Grinds Laskerud from Bergens in 2. Evan Bailey's from Ireland in 3. Duncan Scott, Scottish record holder, goes in at lane number 4. Jacob Whittle is actually the youth meet record holder. He's too old to set a meet record now. He goes in 5. Daniel Krzyzewski in 6. Kieran Bird in 7. And Freddie Ashley Sparks in lane number 8. Well, Duncan Scott, a little bit down the field in the early stages, but we know how strong he is in the second half of a race. He's had a few races this weekend already, and let's see what he can do in this 100 freestyle. He goes in lane number 4. It's very close indeed. 4, 5 and 6 all coming in together. Jacob Whittle gets the touch. 1/100th ahead of Duncan Scott. They are under the 50-second mark. Jacob Whittle be pleased to get in ahead of Duncan Scott. Daniel Krzyzewski just a few hundreds back. So 3 under the 50-second mark. And I wonder if that's going to be good enough for the top 8 with 2 heats to come. We will find out very shortly.
Scott probably has just done enough, Paul.
He almost specialised getting in an outside lane in the big championship finals. Wonder if he's done it here. British record holder going out. Matt Richards in one of the centre lanes.
Erlen Bennon in 1. The Netherlands, Marek Roberts from Loughborough. 3, Calvin Fry, Loughborough Performance. 4, Matthew Richards from Manchester Performance. 5, Alexander Kuhn, Loughborough Performance. Alexei Gavinsky from Israel in 6, Evan Jones, Stirling University 7, and Rory McKinnon, City Glasgow in 8. Well, Kuhn turns just ahead of Bellman in lane 1 and Richards in lane 3. Richards now coming down to try and take this one if he can. And Richards and Kuhn in 4 and 5. Still well there in 1 is Bellman. The 2 middle lanes have got this one. Matthew Richards comes through, takes that from Kuhn and Bellman. 49.29 running time. And certainly the first two home will be in the final, I'm sure. First two home, and the previous one should be with touch and go. Krzyzewski perhaps on the cusp at the moment.
Well, there's a lineup for the final heat. Richards looked good in that previous heat, very strong. I wonder what we're going to get here from Tom Dean, the first time we've seen him this weekend at the Edinburgh International. Kenzo Simons goes in 1. Oliver Morgan has been in great form in backstroke. He goes in 2. Ed Mildred in 3. Joshua Salko from Germany, from Heidelberg, he goes in 4. Tom Dean goes in 5. Jacob Mills goes in 6. Alexandre Chalender from Marseille in 7. And Omar Vina goes in lane number 8. Well, the gold medalist, double gold medalist from Tokyo and gold medalist in the relay from Paris, Tom Dean, goes in lane number 5. Oliver Morgan off to a great start. Well, we've seen him in backstroke. We haven't seen much of him in freestyle, but he's going really well here in lane number 2. Tom Dean now trying to come through. Joshua Salko, the middle lanes 4 and 5, also going well. Jacob Mills in lane number 6, but who is going to get into the touch here? 4, 5 and 6 maybe, and Morgan in amongst the big names as well. And 4 under the 50-second mark. Not sure that's going to be good enough to get Tom Dean through into the top 8, but we'll find out in a minute. Jacob Mills, Joshua Salko, Oliver Morgan and Tom Dean, they're all very close indeed, and Tom Dean may well have just missed out on that final, but here we go. Morgan is the man who gets in, 49.90. Duncan Scott safely in. Richard will lead the way. Whittle and Cahoon tied in second, and Tom Dean, wow, he's missed out on the top 8. He's only swim here in Edinburgh, and he's in 9th position. He is reserve. I wonder if anyone will pull out. Occasionally we get pull-outs on the Sunday, but yeah, Tom Dean, that's a bit of a shock, but first event, you know, early in the season, maybe we shouldn't read too much into it, but yeah, very close race, close contest, and it all on the touch as always, Robert. It's always indeed very, very close, isn't it?
Important to get a good start, and if you just miss out on that good start, it's very difficult to recover.
And what about Oliver Morgan? That was a great swim, wasn't it?
Great swim from Morgan.
He has been in fantastic form. I mean, he had the entry time of 49.70, so we shouldn't be too surprised about that. But yeah, mixing it with the freestyle specialists, and Morgan has been absolutely fantastic this week in the backstroke, and he's got 200 backstroke to come. I think he's entered in that. Oliver Morgan, yeah, he is actually. So he'll be going in a short time. So he may well pull out. He may well pull out of the 100 freestyle to concentrate at the 200 back. So, but we don't know.
Yeah, that's what some of these guys do. They concentrate just on the one final. Just confirming that super final potentially. Matthew Richards, Andrew Cahoon, Jacob Whittle, Duncan Scott, Daniel Krzyzewski, Jacob Mills, Joshua Salko and Oliver Morgan.
Next event.
Yeah, Tom Deans, Merlin Bellman, Alexei Kaminski, Jacob Osterville Howell, Edward Mildrew, Renzo Chonagio, Marix Roberts and Owen Bailey. Ron Griffiths Langdrud and Evan Jones are 2 provisional reserves. We'll give you provisional juniors shortly. We'll get back onto the action in this one. 200 backstroke, 5 heats. Erin Gent in 1 from Repton, 2 Erin Gillett from Belgium, 3 Angie Ruinge from Wickham District, 4 Elizabeth Land from Newcastle Swim Team, Lacey Roberts, Plymouth Leander, Rosie Foster goes in 5, Rosie Foster in 6 from Warner Bass Club, Abigail Minto in 7 from Swim Leinster, and in lane 8, Fenella Medici from Repton. 52.87 for Lacey Roberts at the first split, Paul.
Which goes through just 2 100s ahead of Rupasengi, the Sri Lankan swimmer that we saw yesterday. A couple of good swims. We were just looking for the Sri Lankan flag yesterday, couldn't find it on the flag It's opposite us on the pool deck, but it's up beside the scoreboard, the Sri Lankan flag, so she hasn't been missed out. But going well. In lane number 4 is Elizabeth Land, the 16-year-old. And she has had a couple of good swims again. One of these Newcastle swimmers, one of the youngsters who has really performed here this weekend. Elizabeth Land had a very good final last night. I think it was in the youth final last night we saw her. Erin Gillick going well, the Belgian. Oh, in fact, sorry, it's Abigail Minto, swim Leinster. Get my lanes mixed up. Up there in lane 7, maybe heading the 6 swimmers all in a row. There's no doubt who's going to win this one though. It is going to be Elizabeth Land. And she comes in now. Let's have a look at the time. Just over the 2:20 mark. Vanilla Woodisee, Rosie Forster, Abigail Minto, Rupa Senghi, Lacey Roberts. Very, very close in terms of finishing times there. It was a good contest, but no doubt about the winner, Robert. Elizabeth Land. Good second half.
That's a good solid swim from Elizabeth. Yeah, should be pretty pleased with that at this stage of the season. Just 3 just 3 juniors that are at the moment through to the 100 free. That's Zachariah Dale, Harry Milne and Matthew Hamilton. Just 3 juniors taking part in the fastest heats this morning. So there's 5 spaces up for grabs. At least 5 spaces to go for.
So that's the result of the first heat. Elizabeth Land taking that very close contest for second, just won by Vanilla Woodisee. Heat number 2, Amelia Oliver from Brighton College, Laura Ann Marsham, Stirling University, Ike Gronya from Netherlands, Evelyn Hallisey, another one of those young Newcastle swimmers. She goes in lane number 4. B. Jones from Birmingham University. In 5, Charlie Joyce from University of Bath. In 6, Sarah Kravich, East Lothian. In 7, Charlotte Williams from Surrey University in lane number 8. In fact, no one in 1. So we don't have Amelia Oliver taking the start in lane number 1. Wonder if we're going to see another Newcastle victory here. Evelyn Hallisey in that middle lane has gone out. Just one swimmer behind the others at the moment in the early stages. So we have 6 swimmers vying for the lead. Hallisey maybe going to lead that spearhead into this first turn. I've seen Robert, the Newcastle swimmers. I think there's about 3 16-year-olds, isn't it? And quite often they've been side by side in the pool, just by chance in the seeding. They've been split by a heat this time.
Yes.
So it's a good start from Elizabeth Land in the previous heat, and Evelyn Hallisey will be looking to follow up that good form in this heat.
Yeah, she's silver medalist at the British Summer Championships, so she's going pretty well at this halfway stage. Charlie Joyce, University of Bath swimmer in lane 6, just a fraction behind. A nice start from Evelyn, 1:08.60. Joyce still well there, and a little bit further back, Grunen from the Netherlands in lane 3. She's maybe about half a body length back. Charlotte Williams going pretty well over on the far side in lane 8. From Surrey University. But, still the advantage with the Newcastle swimmer, 1:45.42. Entry time of 2:17.50. I don't think she's going to be troubling that time today, Paul.
Yeah, she'll try and force this one down this last half length now. Hallisey with Ika Gruner just coming back slightly, the Netherlands swimmer. You see her coming into the picture now. It was, 2:22 for her teammate in the last heat. She's gone 2:20.96. Gruner in 2:22.70. Charlie Joyce in 3rd and Charlotte Williams in 4th. So yeah, they were the 2 fastest swimmers. They stretched away from the others in the final 50, and Hallisey takes that second heat ahead of Joyce. And yeah, well, straight away, Robert, we're into the seeded heats, and some of the big names coming in. Freya Colbert in that middle lane. She's had a good couple of days, Freya Colbert. Very good swim yesterday in the 400 IM in the morning.
She
didn't swim the final, but
she
great
pulled out
time.
the final to, I think, concentrate on freestyle later on.
Yeah, 200 free, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a great race last night. Our ladies GB team taking part in that one. They all finished first, second, third and fourth, so great race. And that was the very last event last night, Paul.
We'll see what she can do in this 200 backstroke. 200 backstroke's been a successful event. It's been a good hunting ground for Freya Colbert in the past. She's World Championship finalist in that. She won the world title, of course, in the 400 IM last year, but we'll see how she goes in this 200 back. Lola Mulley from Thionville in 1, Catherine Williams in 2 from Wicken District, Amber Rigg from Dumfries in 3. Freya Colbert goes in 4, and she will lead them through, I think, the first 50. Lydia Cordell from Repton next to her teammate Annabelle Crease. They go in 5 and 6. Melissa Mainwaring, City of Glasgow, in 7, and Randaberg's Ingrid Elise Borgstrom goes in lane number 8, right in the outside lane. But Colbert looking really good. And we were talking yesterday. You wouldn't have heard Tony and I on the live stream. We were talking yesterday. We said, Colbert, she's she's taking this 400 IM quite easy. Looks very relaxed. And we saw the time. We thought, oh, hang on a minute. It was an excellent time for Freya Colbert. It was fantastic. 4:42.0, I think it was.
I think she was in at a 4:34 thereabouts, 35.
She looked so relaxed, Freya Colbert. It's difficult to tell whether she was pushing it on, but absolutely fantastic. What a star Freya Colbert is, and what a future she's got for the GB team. Let's hope that she continues to make improvements. That first Olympic appearance last year, that world title in the 400 IM as well, so she's going to be one to contend with, and she's going to lay down a marker here. The first home, I would imagine, in this heat, and that's going to be a marker for the 2 heats to come.
The Norwegian swimmer going very well over on the far side though, Paul. Bergstrom, 2:17.44 entry time, and she's giving herself half a chance here, possibly getting into the B final at the very, very worst, but certainly has half a chance of maybe getting into that A final. She can keep a nice strong finish. I think she's going to finish second, but this has been Colbert's race by some margin. Oh, a great swim from Bergstrom. Well, that was a fairly relaxed swim. Don't think she was trying too much, Paul. She knew what she had to do, and she was should be aware of where the swimmers were in the lanes nearest her, and the answer to that was a long way back. So
yeah, 2:16.70 should be good enough. And there's the lineup for the second of the cyclically seeded heats. One more to go after this one. Heidi Wren from City of Glasgow will be in lane 1. Tom Munis from Israel goes in 2. Caitlin Ebbage, Stirling University, next to Holly McGill, her teammate. They go in 3 and 4. Niamh Ward and Sophie Weston from University of Bath. They go in at 5 and 6. Sorry, don't think there's anyone in 7, but Anna Green from Edinburgh University goes out there in lane number 8, so she'll have a spare lane next to her. Holly McGill and Niamh Ward in that centre lane. Holly McGill is going to be one of the favourites for this one. 3rd place in the British Championships last year, behind the 2 swimmers who actually due to go in the next heat. So some number of the top British swimmers here. I think all the top British swimmers pretty much. There's not really anyone that's been missing from this Edinburgh International this week. Niamh Ward leads them through. Tom Ennis, Caitlin Ebbage, Sophie Weston Holly McGill in 5th in the early stages, but we know she's very strong in the closing stages.
Much stronger
Holly
in
McGill.
the latter stages, Paul. And realistically, this is probably her main event. Much better over the longer distances. The swimmer now at Stirling University, but this is a pool she knows well, swimming as she did for the Heart of Midlothian team. Pretty good all-rounder, but certainly backstroke from about 16 onwards, she really got the bit between her teeth and progressed. Now getting into the mix, as we can see. Still the advantage with Niamh Ward. Holly McGill getting in terms. Tom Enos, there's really swimmers still well there in lane 2, but the 2 middle lanes now, 1 and 2 I think. Ward and McGill, and you'd expect Holly McGill to come back very strongly, and don't know whether she'll take it, but there should be much between the 2 of them. Ward and McGill almost stroke for stroke. Mina still well there in 3rd place, and can you think that the 3 of them will be back for this evening's swims? It's certainly Holly McGill will. She's got this just on the touch. Pretty effective times for the 3 of them: 2:13.96, 2:14.11 and 2:14.65. All faster than Freya Colbert, who I think also will be pretty comfortable for. She's currently 4th fastest.
She is, yeah. Holly McGill came through strongly, as we thought she might take that one. 2:13.96 fastest so far. Last heat, and some big names in this one. Amy Shields, Edinburgh University in 1. Gabrielle Freeman, Morpeth in 2. Maria Godden from Swim Ireland will go in 3. Katie Shanahan, Stirling University in 4. And Honey Osrin from Loughborough Performance goes in 5. Both Olympic finalists last year. Manon Domingon from Grenoble in 6. Martina Karabach from Chelsea and Westminster in 7. And Grace MacDonald from Grantham in lane number 8.
Nice to see Grantham coming up and taking part. We've travelled a fair way up from Lincolnshire area, so good to see them. Hope they're enjoying the meet. Amy Shields on the near side, off sharply as we settle down. You kind of think Katie Shannon and Honey Osrin, the 2 Olympians, should dominate this one, Paul.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit of a surprise, maybe not to Honey Osrin, that she won the trials last year to qualify for the Olympic Games. Certainly, she's performed very well in those Olympic Games, performed very well in the trials last year, and she's looking in good shape again this year. Katie Shanahan's had a few events over the last couple of days, and maybe some events we don't see her going over too often, but she's very strong in all the strokes, very good individual medley swimmer, so no surprise to see her do these events this week, the freestyle and the breaststroke events. But Shanahan leads at the moment, 32.78. She wants to make sure of that place in the final. Honey Osrin clear in 2nd. Manon Domingon also had a couple of good swims. The Grenoble swimmer from France, and she's in a good position as well over there in lane number 6. Lane 3, Maria Godden from Swim Ireland, World Championship swimmer from the Irish team. She's there as well. So the advantage of this last heat, Robert, is they know what they have to
what
do.
You're going to do, and Katie's well clear in this one. I think she had a very enjoyable swim last night in that outside lane in the 200 freestyle, 2:01.16. She just finished like a train, but didn't quite get up to take it. She finished 2nd in that it was a B final, and she was delighted with the swim.
Katie Shanahan going through in first place here. She's going to take this one. Let's have a check of the time. Holly McGill is 2:13. Katie Shanahan is 2:11. So she will lead the way into that final 100 yards round. Manon Domingon and Maria Godden. So yeah, Freya Colbert I think is just going to make it in. I think
had Godden gone about another second and a half faster, which she's more than capable of doing, Paul, we would have had no Leah Crisp. But Leah Crisp has an outside lane.
Freya Colbert.
Freya Colbert. Yeah,
I was going to say Leah Crisp.
We've
not seen her yet.
Yeah. Well, we've not had
the summary of the results there, but we think Freya Colbert has made it in 8th position for that 200 backstroke final, which would be good. It would be great. There's a lot of big names in that one.
Well,
there.
That's right. Yeah.
So Shanahan and Holly McGill. Holly McGill was ahead of Katie Shanahan in the Bucks Championship recently. I wonder if Shanahan wants to get her revenge. Yeah, we'll see it. Yeah. Borgstrom just missing out on the final, and it was Freya Colbert just.
Well, I did mention that Borgstrom might with that swim get enough to certainly get in a B final. She just
missed it.
Everybody else swam just that wee bit faster, or some of them didn't swim too fast. She almost made the A final.
Yeah, so some big names there for that 200 metres backstroke for women. 200 metres backstroke for men promises to be a good one. But we saw Oliver Morgan just swim a short while ago in the 100 freestyle. He's back again in heat number 4 of this one. And swimmer very much on form. But here's the first heat of this 200 metres backstroke. How many heats have we got, Robert? 5
Should
heats.
Be 5, yeah.
Of that.
5.
Logan Jackson in lane 1 from University of Aberdeen Performance. Callum Peebles, Edinburgh University in 2. Jack Docherty-Simpson from City of Glasgow in 3. Angus Allison, Stirling University in 4. Isaac Dodds from University of Bath. Jacob Bursa from Paclit. Are we saying that correctly? We probably not, but anyway. Let Jacob Bursa, the Czech swimmer, he goes in lane number 6. Maxim Shamrila from Stirling University in 7. And Conan Swinney from Derwent Side and Gateshead. I think we'll just stick with the Czech swimmer, I think. Not sure what the club is.
Yeah.
But, Jacob Bursa, as luck would have it, he's going to lead them through on this first 50. There he is, 29.06. Had a few swims again, and again, he's one of the ones that's featured in the commentary a lot, so that's a sign that he's featured at the front of the field, isn't it?
You might not be in a seeded heat, but if you're not in a seeded heat, you want to do the very best you can. And as you say, Paul, he has been prominent when we've been doing commentary. That's all you can ask for.
It's got the halfway point now. Jacob Bursa's still got to be there. His entry time 2:07.96. Again, in some of the...
He's probably on around that time then, Paul, if he can keep this going. A nice strong start. No one else is anywhere near him.
Yeah, he's probably... Yeah, there on his entry time, she said, Robert, it's 2:06.96 was Angus Allison's entry time, the fastest, down to 2:10.20 for Conan Swinney in the outside lane there, up there in lane number 8. But Bursa started well, and he's continuing to do that. Jack Docherty-Simpson's the fastest on that previous 50, just half a second faster than Jacob Bursa, and making a little bit of a move. Jack Docherty-Simpson, the closest one of the 4 swimmers that are leading at the moment, but Bursa might just hang on, but they are catching him in the closing stages here. I wonder if the Czech swimmer is going to just about make it. Jack Docherty-Simpson coming back very strongly indeed, but on the touch is Bursa. Will get in 2:09.33. They all chased him down in that last 50, Robert, but he did hold on.
Yeah, good that Jack probably had a very relaxing evening, I suppose last night. It was his birthday yesterday, as we mentioned. So he'll be able to celebrate, I hope, this evening after he finishes his swims. Well done to him, finishing second in that race. I'll come back to that freestyle where we had a swimmer with an adjusted time. Just a wee bit of technical referee information for all you guys listening. Where the referee clearly sees that a swimmer has got a different place to where the electronic scoreboard has. If there seems to be a problem with the pad, we have obviously a stopwatch, but we have a backup button that is used as well, and the backup button, and they also use the manual time. They confirm that that time is indeed pretty close to what it should have been if the touch wasn't 100% clear, it didn't register very well. Then they will use that backup time to give that swimmer the time that they near enough would have had, and that is then put into the system, and that's why Angle got the correct decision, because he clearly won the heat, and they were able to use what is available to then put that time in, which actually rewards the swimmer with the victory in that heat. So that happens. Sometimes they might only finish third, but it's the same principle. They want to get everything right for fairness all round. It's for the benefit of the swimmer. In most cases, the electronics will be 100% spot on, so we go with what the electronics actually says. But it's only if there's a clear error that we've got a backup system to use.
Well, thankfully it hasn't happened too much this
weekend. It doesn't happen very often, but it happens once in a while. Especially with younger swimmers, when they come trying to finish, they don't hit the pads hard enough. Pads don't register, and they've maybe won the race. By the time comes up, they're in third or fourth position. So, all the trials and tribulations of being a referee and having to work things out poolside. But we get there. Thomas Kudus, 134.99. He's led throughout. He's going pretty well, but now Eddie Irwin from Limerick, who's been over here pretty regularly competing, Eddie, and also getting into the picture. Dutch swimmer Thomas Janssen finishing extremely strongly, and I think Janssen might get this pole. Stretches and takes that in 206.81.
Yeah, nice finish.
Rubius 207.25 in second, and Justin Lecourt, also from Belgium, 207.65, takes third.
So we're into the seeded heats now. Rhys Blackett from Newcastle, Finlay Davis from Stirling University, Max Litchfield, Loughborough Performance, Matthew Ward from Bath Performance Centre, John Short, Swim Ireland, Jamie Ferguson from University of Aberdeen Performance, Nathan Gerds from Tavistock, and Theo Malfay from Grenoble in that outside lane number 8. I think we've got everyone in the pool for this heat.
2 ex-Midlothian swimmers in this one. Jamie Ferguson in 6, now up in Aberdeen at University and Aberdeen Performance now, and Finlay Davis, who's now at Stirling University in his first year. And this is certainly Jamie Ferguson's event, a backstroke. Finlay Davis going in 2. He's a very useful IM swimmer. At the moment, the advantage, as you would expect, in the centre lanes, Matthew Ward and John Short. Paul?
Yeah, John Short, the youngster from Ireland, had a couple of good swims this weekend. 18 years of age. The Swim Ireland European Championships representative for the Irish team. Was second here last year in this event. John Short, Matthew Ward going well. British Championship finalist Matthew Ward, 100 backstroker as well. And Max Litchfield, the experienced man, going in lane 3 after his exploits last night. Max Litchfield, what a fantastic 400 individual medley race he had against Charlie Hutcherson. He's coming out on top, Max Litchfield. So he's run in good form as well. This is the first of the seeded heat. So again, the top 8 fastest times will qualify for the final across all of the heats. So, you know, this first of these seeded heats, if you're in the top 2, you're in a much better position than you would be if you're third position. So Max Litchfield again, right on the edge of qualification potentially. John Short and Matthew Ward will want to make sure that they're in that top 2. We did see yesterday at a couple of events in the final heat that we saw very fast swims. I think 2 events yesterday, 5 swimmers qualified from the final heat as they knew what they had to do. But coming in, John Short, I think he might take this one, although Ward might have something to say about that on the touch. They both reach together and 5/100 separate them. 2:02.42 and 2:02.47. Max Litchfield in third, 2:03.94. So looked fairly relaxed from those swimmers there in comparison to their entry times. But 2:02,
yeah, 2:02
could be enough.
Probably going to be enough. But you wonder if Litchfield's done enough to get in there. Being third, it's always that difficult position. We had it in the first of the 3 seeded heats for the girls, where a Norwegian swimmer, she was second, but that a little bit slower, and she was first going into the B final. So our second seeded heat, Emmett Cousins, Swim Ireland 1, Andrew Brodie, Edinburgh University 2, Hubert Ganax from University of Bath is in 3, Luke Greenbank, Loughborough Performance Centre 4, Oliver Morgan, Birmingham University 5, Niels Jukahoorn from the Netherlands in 6, Jamie Gray, Tavistock in 7, Zina Ubertali, Chelsea and Westminster is in 8. Well, 3 swimmers under the 2-minute mark, and 3 swimmers also faster on paper than that 2:02.42. So 6 have got faster entry times, Paul, but it never works out that way. You normally get a couple or 2 going around about the 2-minute mark, doing enough to qualify. 28.15 for Morgan. Well, it is a wee bit faster. Greenbank 28.21. The 2 of them well clear at this early stage, Paul, so you kind of think those 2 look as though they'll be good enough doing what they're doing so far to get into the A final. Certainly Greenbank out extremely strongly indeed, 58.26, and Oliver Morgan 59.28.
Yeah, Greenbank, of course, the experienced man, Olympic medalist, of course, from Tokyo. He's a British record holder. He's a meet record holder here as well, 158.65, Luke Greenbank. British record, very impressive, 154. Oliver Morgan has been the in-form man in the 50 and the 100 backstroke. He's in second position at the moment. That little warm-up in the 100 free a little bit earlier. Hubert Gedanich in third place from University of Bath. Just keep an eye on the times. It was 2:02 for both Matthew Ward and John Short in the previous heat, but Luke Greenbank looking very steady indeed. It's going to be around about the similar sort of time, I think. Maybe just slightly faster. Yeah, 2 minutes, 0.53. Morgan on the 2:02 range. And Gedanich 2:05.
I don't think that's good enough to get into the A final. The top 2 I think are okay.
Greenbank looking very steady there, and he'll take that place in the final, I'm sure. And 2:02.59 should be okay for Oliver Morgan as well, you would think. So top 4 swimmers, Robert, on the 202 or below, with one more heat to come.
Yeah, and we're pretty sure that Matthew Ward and John Short are okay as well. Litchfield probably has done enough. Certainly still on the border on that one.
No one in one for this final heat. We've got 7 in it though. Jules Andre from Marseille in 2, Jordan McPhail, Edinburgh University in 3, Cameron Brooker and Jack Skerry, the Bath swimmers in 4 and 5, Edward Marcel Whittles, Chelsea and Westminster in lane 6, Oscar Dodds in 7, and Finlay Cordell from Repton in lane number 8. Well, Bath swimmers in the centre, Cameron Brooker and Jack Skerry, way to early leads. Jules Andre going well on the near side here, the Marseille swimmer. He might take them through the first 50. He does indeed. 28.1 for Brooker and Skerry in the centre. And Jordan McPhail from Edinburgh University. Well, all to play for here, Robert. Again, 202 is the top 4. So get anywhere near that. I think, what was it, 205 is it?
205, anything inside 205 will be fine. So Jordan McPhail's got a fair bit to do, as has Whittles. I think the two guys in the middle are pretty comfortable at this halfway stage, Brooker and Sherry. They won't worry too much. They're certainly pace-wise looking good to get into the super final. But the Marseille swimmer, I think he's nailed this one for getting into the super final. Still leads by about a body length, Paul.
Yeah, his entry time for Jules Andre 201.10, so I wonder if he's going to have a little crack at that time. He's not going to be far away from it. Coming back though is Cameron Brooker in lane number 5 and in lane 4, sorry, and Jack Skerry in lane 5. Doesn't want to be behind Jordan McPhail, Jack Skerry, so the top 4
I think
might be safe actually.
Yeah, I think the top 4 are good.
202.06 for Andre. It's a good swim from him.
I'm pretty sure all 4 are good.
McPhail did get ahead of Jack Skerry, but I think Skerry is going to be the outside lane.
I think Skerry and McPhail are the outside lanes. Just confirming the finalists, the super finalists provisionally for that 200 female back: Katie Shannon, Holly McGill, Niamh Ward, Honey Osrin, Tom Minas, and Dronga McDrominson, and Fia Colbert, Sophia Weston. B final: Ingrid Elise Breaststroke, Maria Gordon, Annabelle Crease, Gabrielle Freeman, Catherine Williams, Martina Caravac.
Here's the finalists there,
Amber
Robert,
Brigg,
for the
image. Yeah.
For the men's there. Luke Greenbank heading the way of that one, and Jack Skerry did miss out actually.
Miss out, yeah.
In lane 4, in 204.34, so that's a bit of a shock there for Jack Skerry not to be there.
Indeed. We'll confirm that in a wee minute. Anna Green and Evelyn Hallisey are our 2 provisional reserves for that B final, and junior finalists would be Evelyn Hallisey, provisional at the moment, Elizabeth Land, Lydia Cordell, Vanilla Gudizi, Rosie Foster, Grace McDonald, Lacey Roberts, and Erin Gent. Provisional reserves are Heidi Wren, Zara Kravitz. So we just confirm that 200 backstroke for the male and open: Luke Greenbank, Jules Andre, John Short, Matthew Ward, Oliver Morgan, Cameron Brooker, Max Litchfield, Jordan McPhail. As you said, Jack Skerry will be in the provisional B final. Hubert Knacks, Niels Deshuren, Jamie Gray, Jamie Ferguson, Thomas Shanson, Thomas Curvius, and Edward Marshall Whittle, with Justin Ricoeur and Cousins, our provisional reserves. And if he's not in the B final, Mr. Leclerc will go in the junior final. Dear My Fit, Jack Doherty Simpson, Nathan Gerds, Finlay Bruce, Martin Ironcuff, Sina Ubertali, and Toby Nakamura Drew. Finlay Cordell and Logan Jackson, provisional reserves for that junior final this evening. So I think that's you all pretty well bang up to date. I hope, Paul.
So what's it? So that touch for Jordan McPhail was all important to get into that 200 backstroke final.
Yeah.
A bit earlier there.
Certainly was, Paul. A few hundreds is very important. 204.19, 204.34. So Skerry will be I'm sure he'll be disappointed he didn't get in there, because he would have been a strong fancy. But,
yeah, but a few people being missing out on the top 8. We saw Tom Dean missing out on the top 8.
Yes.
A little bit earlier on. Freya Colbert just making it into her event in the outside lane. So, yeah, some of the big names maybe taking it slightly too easy and not making it through to those finals. But again, could have some withdrawals for those finals. Certainly on the Sunday, it's quite often you see a few withdrawals on the Sunday evening session. So we might see some of the big names, they may withdraw, or they may take advantage of other people withdrawing to take their place on that final. But a little bit of a change of the seedings here, and the 200 metres breaststroke starting us off with heat number 2. So we've got Perry Scobie, Lucy Christoph, Anna Mikado. I've got Hazel-Ann Carter, Mel Large, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, Lucy Stoves and Esme Hall. So Esme Hall leads them through. 36.09 ahead of Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, 37.02 with Lucy Stoves in third position. Again, we've got some big names here when we come to the seeded heats, but we'll see if anyone can challenge their entry times in this one. 2:40.40 for the fastest swimmer, and that was Hazel-Ann Carter. We saw her finish very strongly yesterday. I think in the individual medley she swam, Hazel-Ann Carter, a very, very strong second half of that one. But Esme Hall going really well in the outside lane, 40.27. O'Halloran Hutchison in second, Lucy Stoves in third position. But yeah, Esme Hall with a very good start. Borough of Stockton, one of two 15-year-olds in this one. Honor McCarty, the other one in lane number 3 with that blue cap of the City of Glasgow, just right in the mix in the middle. But you have to say, Esme Hall going really well in that outside lane, showing no signs of slowing down at the moment. We'll just check the splits as they hit this top end to see if anyone is closing on the lead of Esme Hall, but can't be much. Might have been extending that lead actually. Look at that, 41.98. Yeah, and everyone else in the 42 range, apart from Perry Scobie, who's back in 8th, and she's coming through as well.
She's flying at the end, but she's a heck of a lot to do. She's the back marker. Esme Hall's looking extremely strong in that outside lane in lane 8.
Esme Hall now coming through, and she's going to take this one. She's not going to be caught. And let's have a check of the time for Esme Hall. 2:41.67 was the entry time, and she's improved that to 2:40. Well done, Esme Hall. She went out for that one, and she got an excellent time as a reward, and she was the fastest last 50 as well. Second place in that one, Evie O'Halloran Hutchison, the long time second placer in that heat, and Anna McCarty, the other 15-year-old, getting in for third position. So good swim from that outside lane. And the the issues have been sorted out with heat number 1, so we revert back to that heat now. And there's the lineup for that one. No swimmer in lane number 2, but we do have Ava Finlay, Zara Smith, Tegan Black, Isabella McGeorge, Abby Whitfield, Amy McLeod and Charlotte Higgins. So again, mostly Scots in this one, a couple from the north of England, Derwent side and Gateshead. Abby Whitfield in 6 and Ava Finlay closest to us from Morpeth in lane number 1. Entry time, so this one 2:42.10 for Tegan Black in the middle. Down to 2:45.60 for Charlotte Higgins, University of Aberdeen performance over there in lane number 8. Amy McLeod off to a good start. City of Glasgow swimmer, half a second advantage over Abby Whitfield next to her. 6 and 7 going along very nicely in the early stages of this 200 breaststroke. 2:40.18 is the time posted in the previous heat. Wonder if anyone can challenge this. 5 swimmers all in a row here. Another good contest as they come to the halfway point.
Very tight, you see it halfway, about a second and a half separate 5 swimmers. 1:18.98, Paul. A wee bit slower than the previous heat, but that's what you would expect since it's a slower entry time. But Abby Whitfield's going nicely in lane 6, Paul. Just pushing on. Nice long glide. Amy McLeod still in second. The other 3 girls almost in a line, 3rd, 4th and 5th.
Yeah, see the splits there. Whitfield 42.93, fastest split on that. 3rd, 50. McLeod also going well in lane number 7. So these two have been leading for a long way. They're under threat now from the 3 swimmers in the middle. Tegan Black, and Zara Smith and Isabella McGeorge. McGeorge possibly the one doing the chasing, but I'm not sure they're going to catch Abby Whitfield. Let's have a check of this time. Can she get close to her 2:43.39? Maybe just going to slip by, but not by much. 2:44.97 for Abby Whitfield. McGeorge it was that got through into 2nd, and Tegan Black into 3rd place ahead of Zara Smith, with Amy McLeod in 5th position. But you led from the front, Robert.
Yes,
Whitfield taking that
dominant swim. Good to see that, to go out and maintain that throughout the race. Well done, Abby.
So that was heat 1.
That was heat 1.
We've had heat 2, so we now go on to 3.
Or is it 5?
Well, we'll find out in a second. We're into the seeded heats.
It is,
Libby
thankfully
Booker
we're back to normal.
in the middle.
Yeah.
Libby Booker in the centre lane with Anna Morgan, who's had a couple of great performances in the 50 and the 100 breaststroke already. The Edinburgh University swimmer. No swimmer in 1. Louise Bressler had a good swim last night in the final session. She goes in 2. Niamh Coyne in 3 for Swim Ireland. Libby Booker from Loughborough in 4. Anna Morgan in 5 from Edinburgh University. Emily McGee from Dundee City Aquatic in 6. Emily Morgan Hughes from University of Bath in 7. And Isabel Munnock from Morpeth in lane number 8. But centre lanes, you would expect, Robert. Anna
Indeed.
Morgan has been in great form. She's had a couple of great swims in the 50 and the 100 breast, and looking to follow that up in the 200.
Yes, out pretty strongly in this one. We know that she's got stiff competition, and Cara Hanlon and Hannah Denivans, but she want to show that she's good enough to mix it with the top swimmers now. Certainly been doing that over the last couple of years, getting into the position where she wants to be challenging the top two in the UK. Anna Morgan, 1:11.44, quarter of a second advantage. Not a lot in it at the moment. Well, coming at her is Booker. Booker, British silver medalist in this event. And she's certainly upsides Anna Morgan, who was 5th at British Championships. So the two of them almost together, and you'd think that both of them look pretty safe now. That last 50, Morgan just at the moment hanging on. Can she maintain that stroke rate? Nice long glide. Slightly faster stroke rate from Booker. Anna Morgan looks as though she's going to hang on and take this one. And, it's a good solid swim from Anna Morgan. She'll be, I'm pretty sure, be happy with that one. 2:30, 50, 2:30, 39. Morgan just takes that.
Yeah, good swim from those two. Entry time for Booker was 2:24, Morgan was 2:27, so just a little bit closer to her entry time. She's been pretty close to the entry times in all the swims, I think, that she's done. I think she improved her time in the 100 as well. Might have been a lifetime best for her in the 100, so she's in good form. And she's got her Edinburgh University teammate going in this one, and that's Cara Hanlon. So they line up for this heat number 4, the second of the seeded heats. Caitlin Hartley from University of Bath, Anna Finlay from Derwentside and Gateshead, Imogen Miles from Sevenoaks, Cara Hanlon, British champion, she goes in lane 4 for Edinburgh University. Sienna Robinson from Loughborough goes in 5 and off to a good start for the Loughborough swimmer. Mably Collier in 6, the Repton swimmer. Ellie Kennington from Plymouth Leander in 7, and Katie Coventry from Morpeth right out there in lane number 8.
Keep your eye open for Imogen Miles from Sevenoaks. She's only turning in 4th swimmer from Sevenoaks, 16-year-old. She's swims as a Scottish National Age Group champion. She came up to Aberdeen last year and had a cracking swim in this event. So let's hope that she maybe gets enough to get into the final this evening. At the moment, it's the two that you would expect, Hanlon and Robinson, virtually together. Cara Hanlon 1:11.62. Pretty similar split to the previous one. I think both of these swimmers might not push on too much as long as they're comfortable in the front and no one is challenging them. They'll know what they're capable of anyway. But Cara Hanlon, just with that slight advantage, Paul, she's looking good.
Yeah, we had 2 stretching away from the field in the previous heat. We've got another 2 stretching away in this heat as well. So it's ramping up for a good contest in that final tonight. Not even at the last heat there, but Hanlon taking up the running. She's taking a second from Sienna Robinson in that 3rd 50. Imogen Miles, also a good split from her, confirming her 3rd position at the moment, and that might be vital coming to make the final. But Cara Hanlon looking to make sure, British champion from last year, and she's looking to follow that up. She'll be making her way into the British Championships in a month's time, I'm sure, with eyes on the 100 and the 200 breaststroke. So Cara Hanlon is coming into the finish now. It was 2:30 for the previous heat, it's 2:30 for this heat as well. 2:30.09 for Hanlon. She'll be faster than the other two that we saw before. Robinson will be lying in 4th, I think, at the minute. And Imogen Miles giving herself a good chance to make that super final tonight.
I think that's good enough potentially to get into the final. Long way clear of Anna Finlay. 3 seconds faster in that third position. So our fifth and final heat, Ellen Bagley from Birmingham University in 1, 2 Hannah Bowley, Edinburgh University, goes into Lena Konstag-Georgiou from Olympiacos is in 3, and Hannah Devon, Stirling University 4, Ellie McCartney, Swim Ireland 5, Daniela Brink from the Netherlands 6, Niamh Connery from National Centre Limerick in 7, Mia Rogers from the Warner Bass Club in 8. And Hannah Devon's on paper, it never ever watched it correctly on paper all the time, but she's the fastest coming into this in a 2:22.5, and already but half a body length clear of the Irish swimmer Ellie McCartney. Swimmer Lena Konstag-Georgiou turning in 3rd in lane 3. 4th is Niamh Connery, I think, over in lane 7. 2 girls in the middle lanes look pretty comfortable, Paul. Coming down towards halfway.
Yeah, Hannah Devon's looking very strong, and she's had a good couple of days as well. Very, very good time in the 100 breaststroke. 100 probably a focus event, you would think, previously for Angharad Evans. Hasn't shown that. Well, she has swum the 200 breaststroke before, but it's always the 100 she's really impressed. She was 3rd in this 200 last year at the Edinburgh International, 4th at the British Champs, but she did win the Bucks Championships, and that was ahead of Lily Booker and Dana Morgan in around about a month ago. So Angharad Evans, as we saw from the 100 breaststroke, swimmer again very much on form, so we'll see what kind of time she can post. Cara Hanlon 2:30.09 is the fastest so far, and I just wonder if she's going to get inside that, going to push along for this final 50. Evans now being challenged by McCartney, so Evans beginning just to ease down a bit, but McCartney not easing down at all. She wants to get a win here over Angharad Evans, and it looks like she might just come past Evans, but I wonder if Evans got other ideas. It's a good contest, this one. He didn't have to fight this one out, but McCartney is going to be in, and it's fast time 2:27.22 for McCartney, only half a second shy of her entry time, and look at that, 38-second final 50. Evans didn't really respond to McCartney there, she didn't have to. 2:27. Konstag-Georgiou I think will make the final as well. I think that'll be 3 from this heat.
Yes,
2 from the others.
This Imogen Miles, I think, is the slowest coming into the finals. I think she will just be 8th fastest. We'll get that confirmed on the screen probably in a moment or two.
And there we are. Oh well, it's Niamh Connery actually. We've made it in. 2:34 it was the cut-off point. Yeah, McCartney leads the way. Yeah. Evans, Hanlon, they're all there. Miles will miss out on that final just by 1 place, but she will be reserved. And as we said, occasionally on the Sunday there are withdrawals, so we might see her in the final. Caitlin Hartley and Maddy Collier will be in reserve positions for that B final. And again, the junior finals for us to look forward to as well as we go down the rankings. But yeah, it should be a good final, I think. They have the main contenders are all there in this 200 breaststroke. Should be an interesting one. Yeah. Evans and Hanlon, we've seen them over the shorter distances in the breaststroke. Booker, the 200 specialist, will be in there as well, and Anna Morgan as well in great form. So the 100 butterfly on now. We have 5 heats of this one. Noah Ritzler from Loughborough, Zach Speakman from Stirling University, Stefan Kravich in the middle lane, Edinburgh University, Luca Plater, Loughborough, Aurelie Deschamps, Marseille, and Gregor Swinney. In fact, no Gregor Swinney. I haven't seen Gregor Swinney all weekend, no, I don't think.
He's been entered, but has not turned up for the weekend. Maybe he's a bit under the weather.
Yeah, so 5 swimmers in this one, 5 heats, Robert, and this should be fast. All entries on 55 point for this one.
Some of these guys will try their utmost to get a very fast time, maybe give them a chance of getting into that B final, as we've seen with some of the non-seeded heats. Stefan Kravis at the moment just shades this from Zach Speakman. So Ritzler, looks like Kravis might just take this one. He does. A wee bit faster, I think, than his entry time.
Well, that's good.
Might give him an outside chance of getting into a B final if some of them a bit slower. Ritzler and Speakman second and third. Just confirming the super final for that 200 breast. Ellen Cartney and Harrod Evans, Cara Hanlon, Anna Morgan, Elizabeth Luca, Nina Quinto-Giorgio, Sienna Robertson and Niamh Connery. Heat number 2, Kieran Lennox, University of Aberdeen Performance, Peter Allen, Stirling University, Solomon Williams, Edinburgh University 3, Charles Simpson, Repton 4, Riccardo Lucarelli, Stirling University 5, Dylan Reigate, Swim Ireland 6, Luke Greenback, Loughborough in 7, Matthew Hamilton, Tavistock in 8. In fact, no lane 3. 54.85 to 55.30. And strongly out is Charles Simpson, 18-year-old from Lipton. Peter Allen, though, just touches first 25.84. Well, it's a wee bit slower in the previous heat. Still Peter Allen well there in 2, and in 4 is Simpson. In 6, Dylan Regis coming through very strongly, but it's lane 2 who's going to take this. Allen takes this. Lane 8. Well, in fact, Greenbank took that. But, Allen had snatched that, but Luke over the far side. Luke Greenbank takes that. 55.84. 55.90 for Hamilton. 56.02. Now slower than Stefan Kravis, so heat number 3 on their way. Luke Greenbank after that 200 backstroke, straight in again for the 100 fly, but managing to win that heat. And there's the lineup for this next one: Tom Robertson, Edinburgh University; Alex Klavinsky, Israel; Jamie Robertson, Stirling University; Jacob Peters for Bath Performance; Ed Mildred, Manchester Performance; Evan Bailey from Swim Ireland; Jason Rotulas from SK Roy; and Samuel Costel from J&T Sport. Well, Jacob Peters, saw him swim in the 200 butterfly, but he only did 100 of that. Yeah. He was going for a time in his 100 butterfly, in 3rd place in the British Championships last year. Incredibly fast, very close race, I should say, in that British Champs last year. Jacob Peters just missing out on the top spot by the narrow margins. Ed Mildred going well in lane number 5. Peters with a red cap now, trying to make their way into this top 8. The top 2 look like they might be safe enough here. Let's see what kind of time they can register. 53.29 for Mildred, 53.81 for Peters. So, well, might be enough, Robert, but a little bit of jeopardy there for the final 2 heats to come. I think both of them should be okay. Stefan Kravis 55.13 is sitting pretty nicely for a B final. Emil Osterville Harlan, Bergen in 1, Evan Jones, Stirling University 2, Brian Leong from Chelsea and Westminster 3, Clement Seki from Marseille in 4. Joe Litchfield, Loughborough Performance Centre 5. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Edinburgh University 6. Lewis Maxwell, Derwentside and Gateshead 7. Brogan McAvaney from National Centre Limerick is over lane 8. Strong start in lane 1. The Norwegian Neil Harlem also well there in 4. It's the Frenchman Siche and Brodie Gordon-Gibson going well also in lane 6. So it's down the final 25 metres. Siche looks good to take this. Coming through Joe Litchfield to challenge Brodie Gordon-Gibson for 2nd place. And, on the near side it's all pretty tight. But Siche takes that. Gordon-Gibson and Litchfield 2nd and 3rd. I think that'll be okay for those 3 guys. 52.63 for Siche. Brodie Gordon-Gibson 53.77. Litchfield 53.89. Evan Jones, not sure if that'll be good enough.
So Olympic semi-finalist there, Clement Secchi leads the way so far. Here's the final heat. Luca Besson, Daniel Kraveski, Duncan Scott, Niels Costagna, Joshua Gammon, Angel Esposito, Jack Casson and Andrew Bertoli. Well, you know what to do here. 53 points should make it into the final, you would think. Duncan Scott back in the water again, and a good start for Duncan in lane number 3, but the best start in lane number 4 is Niels Costagna from Team Netherlands. Oh, Costagna, Olympic Games finalist, so no surprise to see him go out into that early lead, 24.13. And it's all pretty close, Robert.
Yeah, he's got this pretty nailed on now. It's all a question of times for the guys behind. Gammon, Expito. I think Expito's looking good for 2nd. Gammon 3rd. Duncan Scott maybe having to settle for 4th. But a great swim from Constantia. 51.97. That was something special. Expito, Gammon, Scott, all under 54. They're probably all 4 of them will be okay.
It's going to be close. It's going to be close, I think, for Duncan Scott.
Just confirm.
Yeah, he's in. 53.81. Jacob Peters is the last one into the final. Costagna leads the way. Peters just making it in, and 53.89 for Joe Litchfield, the British champion from last year. He just misses out, so he will be a reserve for that final. So it was 53 point, Robert, but one of the 53s didn't make it in. Brian Leung.
Our B final for the female 200 breast, provisionally Imogen Miles, Janalia Brink, Emily McGee, Hannah Bowley, Neve Coyne, Louise Brester, Anna Finlay, Emily Morgan Hughes, Caitlin Hartley and Mabel Collier. Our reserves and our junior final, provisionally Mabel Collier, Esme Hall, Ellie Kennington, Evie Alan Hutchison, Isabel Monagh, Honor McCarty, Maya Rogers, Katie Coventry with Hazel Ann Carter and Abby Whitfield are provisional reserves.
So 6 heats of this 100 freestyle for women. There's a little bit of a delay here.
Right, well,
and we've got
quickly give you the 100 super final. Niels Constantia, Clement Secchi, Edward Mildred, Angel Expito, Joshua Gammon, Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Duncan Scott, Jacob Peters, Joe Litchfield, Jack Casson, Evan Jones, Evan Bailey, Andrew Bertoli, Daniel Krasewski, Stefan Kravitz and Alexei Gowinski. That's provisional B finalists with reserves Brian Long and Emil Osterver Harlem. Juniors, so far Matthew Hamilton, as in Rutulas, Charles Simpson, just the 3 from this morning, so some spaces for those this afternoon. So that's you bang up to date with what we've got in the final. As you can see, Ralph's back out doing his magic on the starting platforms. Don't know if there's a problem with a wobble or it's the electronics. But, we might need to get someone from the venue to come along and assist Ralph. We didn't mention all the good work that these people behind the scenes do to run the electronics, the pads, the timing systems. Ralph has been doing this probably longer than I've been involved in swimming, 25 years or so. Comes over from Fife, you're part of the country, Paul. And, he's not got too many free weekends.
Yeah. It's his second home.
Second
home's Glenrothes, isn't
second
it?
home is Glenrothes. Well, maybe that's his main.
Maybe that is his first home.
Yeah, that's his first home.
Oh, Edinburgh.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job, Ralph. Other ones in the box, Susan Liddle, our meet manager, confirms the results that you see on the board. Also got a young chap, Jordan Young, who is in there as well. Who, the three of them, without them we wouldn't get all that information fed up to us as quickly as we do. So big thanks to those three. You don't see them behind the scenes, but it's like the people poolside are officials who give up their time willingly. The vast majority, I don't even think, have swimmers here, and without them these meets wouldn't go ahead, Paul.
No, they come out week after week to support the events and to support the organisers. So yeah, it's worthwhile paying tribute to these officials to put on this excellent event.
We're the lucky ones. We get to talk a lot of rubbish and see it firsthand for free.
Absolutely. It all looks good when we're watching it on the surface, when you're watching it on your TV screens back home. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes to get the swimmers up to the start and to put on this event. So yeah, great job that the organisers do. Yeah. Not only in this event but in other events as well right across the country. So
glad to have you with us. I hope you're enjoying the coverage over the 3 days. If you've been with us all 3 days, you'll have heard Paul's dulcet tones. He's our expert on a lot of swimming events, and especially the para stuff. You'll have heard these dulcet tones on Channel 4 and sometimes Channel 5 if Channel 5 have had it done in the past, but
not many para
some more para events later in the year, Paul.
Yeah, there's a few more coming up. Big year for the para swimmers this year again. Paralympics last year, so a few of the para swimmers just taking a little bit of a break after the Paralympic Games, as the Olympians did as well, and just getting back into training at the tail end of last year. So the trials for the Para World Championships are also in Singapore. They're a little bit later in the year, so September. So it's a 2-stage trials, one in London next month.
You're going down to that one,
yeah, we're going down to that one
to do some commentary.
And then the British Summer Meet is the second stage of qualification for the para swimmers. So in the summer, so that's in July. So yeah, big year, and we've got some exciting young para swimmers hoping to make a breakthrough into the GB team. It's always good to see. So not many of them taking part in this event. There's a World Para Series going on this weekend in Italy, so some of the swimmers have gone out there to the Italian World Para Series, so that's why there's not that many para swimmers here at this event. But yeah, looking forward to seeing everyone in London and see how people perform in the trials. In London, it's a combined trials, and I think that's been a commitment now that British Swimming have to have combined trials for the swimmers and for para swimmers for the big events to come. So I think that commitment's in place. I think maybe until possibly 2028. I could be wrong.
Right.
In the lead up to the LA Olympics and Paralympics. So
that's good.
That's a nice move forward. The para-swimmers appreciate that, to be part of the big event. It was great in London last year. I'm sure it'll be good this month as well, in the coming month. But we had some good swims still to come this morning, haven't we? And we had some good swims this morning as well. I mean, just looking back on your screen there, we saw the 100 metres butterfly finalists. I mean, we've got a couple of... It is Edinburgh International. We've got two Olympians leading the way through. The Dutch swimmer, we made the Olympic final, Niels Kostanje and Clement Setchi, Olympic semi-finalists. So no surprise to see them challenging for the top spot in that 100 butterfly. But the British swimmers, Josh Gammon, Ed Mildred, have performed very well. And then we've got the Scots as well. Brodie Gordon-Gibson, Duncan Scott, they're in there as well.
Yeah. Brodie Gordon-Gibson's been swimming really well the last couple of years. Just a very much a late developer, Brodie. Reasonable swimmer, 15, 16, but stuck with it, and he's reaping his rewards, and he's got in the final. So I'm sure he'll be looking forward to that one tonight.
Now we're ready, I think. We've got the technical issue resolved.
Thank you, Ralph. And staff at the Comey Pool in Edinburgh. Anna Farrell, University of Bath in 1, Evie Mackey Lanark in 2, Danielle Farrell, National Centre at Limerick is in 3, Paige van der Westhuizen, Stirling University in 4, teammate Nelly Kinch in 5, Emily Cocker 8-6 from Loughborough, and Zara Krawish having another swim from the Slovenian swim team. So 7 in this very first heat. 57.37 the entry times, through to 57.68 and 28.16 Danielle Farrell. First of the three unseeded heats. And it is Farrell, I think, Paul, coming through quite convincingly to take this from Crocker.
Yeah.
She takes that, and she's pretty happy with that swim. 57.11, a wee bit inside her entry time. Crocker 32 rather, and Anna Farrell takes third, 58.49.
Yeah, nice way to start there. 57.11. So 6 heats. This is number 2, Holly Hibbett, Drew McKenzie.
Holly Hibbett,
Devine. Yeah, no one in 1. That is Drew McKenzie and Laurie Devine. Edinburgh University in 2 and 3. Catherine Renfrew from Perth City, the red cap in 4. Fleur Verdonk from Semfed. Tabby Sims, Emma Olsen goes in lane 6. Mia Slavin, Loughborough in 7. Katie Goodburn in the outside lane. Off to a blistering start, Katie Goodburn right up there in lane number 8.
Yeah, she always goes out fast and tries to hang on. Sometimes it works, sometimes it just doesn't for Katie, but she gives it everything and she's out very fast indeed. Turning in second, Drew McKenzie, 26.95, our early leader.
And she had a good 50, Drew McKenzie, and she's following that up with a very good 100 by the looks of things there, leading the chasing pack through. And this is going to be a good time, I think, from Drew McKenzie, 57.20. She's just toiling a little bit at the end now, but she comes in and she does get a very good time, 56.12. That was hard work in that last 10 metres there, but she looked very, very good. And 56.12, excellent time, excellent improvement ahead of Renfrew and Goodburn.
Nice strong finish from Catherine Renfrew from Perth City, 57.67, just outside her entry time. She'll not be too disappointed at this because she's not probably targeting this as a key event, just to come along and have some fun. And Katie Goodburn, an outside lane, taking third. Heat number 3. Jessica Polger, University of Bath. Emily Richards, Manchester Performance Centre. Emily Hauskes from Tabby Sim in 3. Angelina Roman from the Netherlands in 4. Hannah Capron from Repton 5. Honey Ocean, Loughborough Performance Centre 6. 7 is Lucy Greaves, Stirling University in 8. Harriet Rogers from Loughborough. Some good quality swimmers not seeded in this one. Doing freestyle, Lucy Grieve, Honey Osrin and Emily Richards. And, the advantage with Harriet Rogers over the far side, 27-17. And Rogers still with the advantage, Paul, coming into the final 20 or so. Finishing very strongly is Capron in 5. And Capron might just get this one. Lane 1 has got this one. Jessica Polger. 56-53 from Capron. 56-60. Hardly anything between the two. And in third place, Rogers, our long-time leader, 56-91. Great finish from Polger. Take that one.
Yeah, she had a couple of good swims this week already. Rose van Otterdijk swim fed in 1. Anastasia Urbanek in lane number 2. Freya Colbert and Freya Anderson, 2 GB swimmers. In 3 and 4, Eva Ocaro, another GB Olympian. She goes in at lane number 5. Victoria Catterson, Swim Ireland in 6, and 2 from the Netherlands in 7 and 8. Imani de Jong and Jara van Kamptoet. Well, it's going to be quite tough to make this final. There can be no hanging about. Freya Anderson off to a good start. Freya Anderson, as we said, one of the fixtures in the GB team this last decade or so. Van Otterdijk going well in lane number 1. Freya Anderson in second. Yeah, Van Otterdijk's impressed us in a couple of events already this week, but Anderson in the centre now, trying to just stay ahead of the swimmer right next to her, Eva Ocaro. Van Otterdijk still going well in lane number 1, and she might well take this from 1. The 2 in the middle coming back, but it is going to be Van Otterdijk after that very good start. 54.99 for Rose van Otterdijk, just ahead of the 2 GB swimmers, and Eva Ocaro getting in ahead of Freya Anderson, with Freya Colbert also in the 55 second range.
Freya Colbert might miss out, Paul. Marlene Bessard from Grenoble in 1. Florine Gaspard from Belgium in 2. In 3, Lucy Hope, Stirling University. 4, Lulu van Wyk from the Netherlands. In 5, Barbara Janokova from Enschede. In 6, Evie Davis, Stirling University. 7, Isabella Ocaro from Repton. And in 8, Sophie de Groot from Loughborough. A strong start in the middle lanes, also going well. Florine Gaspard in 2, Lulu van Wyk, a Dutch swimmer with the advantage from Gaspard in Belgium. 25.87, 26.44. And the Dutch swimmer has got this one pretty well under control. She's certainly no problem getting to the final. Lucy Hope having to work hard to get into second place here. And Van Wyk will take this. Lanes 2 and 6. Evie Davis just gets ahead of Lucy Hope. Gaspard second, 55.40. And Evie Davis 55.70 is very borderline along with Lucy Hope. I don't think they're going to get into the super final.
It's tough qualification for this one. Big names in this event. You have Annabelle Compton going in lane number 1 in this final heat. No one in 2. There's Sam Van Noonen And Mark Steenbergen, Netherlands swimmers, they go in 3 and 4. Vanilla Fidkovic in lane number 5 from Loughborough. Grace Davison, Swim Ireland. Jemima Hall, University of Bath. And Amy Monks from Swansea University. Well, world champion Mark Steenbergen goes in lane number 4, and there's no surprise to see her at the head of the field. Vanilla Fidkovic, Loughborough swimmer, also a World Championship finalist in lane number 5, just behind Sam van Noonen at the moment. The Netherlands swimmers going well, but look at this for Steenbergen. This is an impressive performance here in the heats from Steenbergen. Everybody left in her wake. It's all to play for second, but Steenbergen coming away and clear. What an impressive swim this one is in the heats. It's very close to the meet record held by her country mate at Chroma Widojo, one of the top swimmers in the Olympic Games for the Netherlands, but it is a victory for the Netherlands swimmer Steenbergen, 53.97. Grace Davison in second place.
Evie Davis might have scraped in, as does Lucy Hope. Well, they just got in there because that was very much slower behind Steenbergen.
Yeah, Freya Colbert does miss out, as you said, Robert.
Yeah.
We do have a tie there, but it is a tie for 11th place, so probably not a swim off required, unless there's a withdrawal, of course.
Yeah, need to be something drastic happening. So just confirming that, Steenbergen, Van Wyk, Van Nutterdijk, Eva O'Carroll, Maureen Gaspard, Freya Anderson, Evie Davis and Lucy Hope. That's the super final. B final, provisionally, Freya Colbert, Drew McKenzie, Grace Davidson, Anastasia Ubankia, Eileen Bessard, Barbara Yanakova, Jessica Polger, Sam van Noonen. And the reserves, Sophie de Groot and Hannah Capron. And
so there's the 400.
If Hannah doesn't get a swim, Hannah will be in the junior final, along with Annabelle Crompton provisionally. And Angela Roman, no. Give you some more. Emily Handvist is fourth fastest. Catherine Renfrew, Amelia Lanz, Evie Mackey, and that's it. Zara Kravis, I think, just the 8th fastest at the moment. Okay, Paul, over to you for the lineup on this one.
400 freestyle. Josh Williams, Swansea University. Michael Giudici from Bohemians, check swimmer. Luke McGee from Loughborough goes in 4. Henry Baker in 5 from Stirling University. Yannick Velen from Netherlands in 6. And Richard Nagy goes from K. Azeta, the Slovakian. He goes in lane number 6. He's been an Olympian before, as we were talking about in the live stream yesterday. Richard Nagy in that outside lane, 32 years of age now. Maybe one of the older swimmers here. Not sure if there's any older than 32.
I haven't seen anyone older than 32.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah,
it must be one. I'd say one of the oldest anyway. There's a few in their 30s, but early 30s.
Yeah, James Guy at 30 is probably one of the other ones that are the wrong side of 20. Not many 30-year-olds are above swimming at the meet.
Well, Luke McGee, he's still a teenager. He's the only teenager in this first heat of this 400 freestyle. We have got 4 heats of this one, and 2 of those heats are cyclically seeded, so that's heats number 3 and 4. But Luke McGee, the youngster, looks like he is going well up to the halfway point. He has that lead, 156.40. Josh Williams 157.31. And you see the Slovakian in the outside lane, the 29-second split there, so he's not out of this one yet. The experienced man over there in lane number 7. But Luke McGee from Loughborough started this pretty well, Robert, and hoping to dip under the 4 minute mark. 3:57.70 is his entry time.
Yeah, certainly we'd be hoping to get under 4 minutes. At the moment, he's probably pretty close to that pace. One at the Northumberland and Durham meet. Over in lane 7, Journey in second place. And it might be Milan Wojak in third. The Slovakian. But McGee looks as though he's just probably going to get enough. He can finish strongly to get just inside that 4 minute mark. There's a whole 7 swimmers. Still looking good for McGee now. Paul off the final turn. He's going to come back just over 30. 31.12. I'm sure he'll finish up a wee bit stronger. And the good thing is you don't have to worry about the finish tumble turn. So a 3:59 or thereabouts should be the finish. It's very tight over on that far side between the two Slovakian swimmers. Wojak looks as though he's going to get second from Nagy. Luke McGee just, I think, under the just under the 4 minute mark. 3:59.07. Local 4:00.52, 4:00.54. Only 200s in it. A very tight finish for second and third. That's a good one to get us underway, Paul.
Yeah, well swum from McGee. Take that one. 3:59.07. Led from the front all the way. Two Slovakians chased them down in the closing stages, but McGee in there. And there's the lineup for the second heat. Thomas Trebilcock from Swansea University in 1. Matthew Baker, University of Bath in 2. Sean McCann from Loughborough in 3. Cormac Rinn from Swim Ireland in 4. Samuel Costa from J&T Sport in 5. Ruben Rowbottom Keating from Loughborough in 6. Nathan Whiffen, first of the Whiffen brothers. We'll see he goes in lane number 7. And Moritz Baumgartner for Loughborough in lane number 8. We've seen Nathan Whiffen swim against his brother in a couple of races here in the 800 and yesterday and the 1500 on day 1. And coming down the distance now to the 400. Nathan Whiffen starting pretty well in lane number 7, 1 lane from the top, but it is Thomas Trebilcock from Swansea University probably going to lead them through to this first 100. Yeah, that's the two leaders there, 29.33 and 29.45 for that previous 50. So they're both in the 56 range. Matthew Baker and Morris Baumgartner. So not much of the action coming from the middle lane so far, Robert.
Not much. Certainly the outside lanes have been very prominent through a lot of the heats this morning. And these guys will fancy their chances of getting a second swim in the B final. If you can finish maybe top 3 or even top 4, you give yourself a fighting chance. You probably wanted to get a low 350s, I would think, Paul. 353, 354 would give them a sort of fighting chance.
Yeah, you would think so. You would think so if they can get close to their entry times. Chance to certainly get into a B final, get another swim a little bit later on. Trebilcock and Whiffen looking like they're stretching away now from the others. Well, I say that, I mean the splits were very similar, but just visually they've got a little bit of an edge, a little bit clear water between them and the others, but the others very close in the middle. It's all very nip and tuck in the middle there, isn't it? All very cagey. I wonder if there's going to be some pressure put on when they progress through, they'll be down to the 300 mark at the bottom. So will we see any moves now going on towards that last 100? Still Whiffen and Treblecock in the outside lanes leading them through.
Yeah, at the moment they still look pretty comfortable. The chasing pack have got a lot to do to try and claw back 2+ seconds.
Can be close at this turn, isn't it? Look at that. Treblecock 2:57.82, Whiffen 2:58.0. Sean McCann now in third, 3 minutes .19. Just ahead of Cormac Wren, 3 minutes .28. But they have got a little bit of work to do. But the middle lane's now starting to put the pressure on a little. But I'm not sure they're going to catch the two outsiders, Robert.
Don't see it now. Don't see it happening. Nathan Whiffen, I think, is just travelling a wee bit faster now and may in fact take this one. He's gone about half a second clear out the turn. I think Nathan Whiffen and Treblecock, we'll see them in the B final. The question is, can Ryan get a good enough time in third place to also get in that B final? Oh, great swim from Nathan Whiffen. Well, yeah. I'm sure he'll get another swim on that one, Paul. 3:57, 37 and 73 from Treblecock. Cormac Ryan and Sean McGann just over the 4 minute mark. They're going to be very much borderline potentially for a second swim. But you never know what will happen in the next two seeded heats. A lot of the swimmers have been nowhere near their entry time, so every chance. So the first of the two seeded heats, they'll go in this one. Arthur Logan, Edinburgh University in 1. Andres Gomez from PK Slavia in 2. Jack McMillan, Stirling University 3. Kieran Bird, Bath Performance Centre 4. Tyler Melbourne Smith from Loughborough in 5. 6 is George Smith, Stirling University. Diego Finetska Gomez from the Netherlands in 7. David Annis from Stirling University is in 8. Now the times in this range from 3:45 through to 3:54. So on entry times, all of them should be back for a second swim, either in the A or B final. At this early stage, Tyler Melbourne Smith out extremely strongly. George Smith and Kieran Bird coming almost together, second and third to the first 50. 54.90. You would expect much faster than the previous heats.
Melbourne Smith going on very well in these early stages. Jack McMillan had a very good 200 swim. He going in lane number 3, just tracking Kieran Bird. His Olympic Games teammate, Kieran Bird. Moving into second now. Jack McMillan in third, George Smith there in fourth position. They're all chasing Tyler Melbourne Smith though, who's gone out really well. Again, you would think these swimmers in the centre should be fairly comfortable qualification for them. I mean, it hasn't proved that way for all the swimmers here this weekend, but you would think that the guys in 3 and 4 who are behind the leader at the minute, they've got to be thinking, yeah, if I can get in these top 3 positions, top 4, should be okay to make it into that final. But Tyler Melbourne Smith really going for this one.
Yeah, our 8th swimmer is 1:59.02, so David Annis has certainly got to keep moving at no worse than a sort of 30 and a half to give himself half a chance of getting another swim, and he's one of 2 or 3 swimmers that are certainly on the borderline now.
I just saw Jack McMillan there putting a 28-second 50, that last 50, and it's really taken him away from Kieran Bird, and he's catching up Tyler Melbourne-Smith now. So as soon as he got to the halfway point, Jack McMillan just went there. Fantastic last 50 for him. Let's see what he's got there. Again, 28-second 50, and he's closing the gap really quickly on Tyler Melbourne-Smith. And Jack McMillan, we saw him in the 200 really strong at the end of the 200. Of course, he is the fifth man in that relay team, so he has an Olympic gold medal to his name, has been part of that relay squad, and he's really come through this year, and he's looking like a real prospect to try and break his way into that top four in that relay team, and also in the individual events as well. He can't be far away, Jack McMillan.
Well, Logan and Gemov look as though they're trying hard to get themselves into that A final. Well, Kieran Bird is certainly under a lot of pressure. Don't know whether Kieran Bird's even going to be in the A final. I suspect not.
Melbourne-Smith taking that one. McMillan should be comfortably there as well. Gemov, Logan, Gomez, all coming in very close. Kieran Bird, a little bit down the rankings, might be good enough for a B final position, but on the 4 minute mark, he's even just on the edge of the B final, I think, as we stand with one heat to come.
First four home, all under 4 minutes, but a few of them are going to miss out.
There's the lineup for the fourth and final heat.
You potentially could see 4 or 5 making the A final if they go for it, which they'll have to do. They'll know what they're going to do in this one. 355, 356 will be comfortable.
Lineup here: Freddie Ashley Sparks from Wickham District in 1, Harry Wynne Jones was in 2 for Loughborough, James Guy from Millfield to a good start in lane 3, Daniel Whiffen, Swim Ireland in 4, Charlie Hutchison in 5 from Loughborough. No one in 6, but we have Luke Hornsey in 7 and Arvind Chahal in lane number 8. So James Guy leads them through. Daniel Whiffen will probably start as well one of the favourites for this one. He has the fastest entry time, certainly 3:45.52, but he's nowhere near as dominant on the 400 as he is in the 800 and the 1500. That's where he won his Olympic medals: gold in the 800 and bronze in the 1500. James Guy has got real pedigree in this 400 freestyle. 200 and 400 was always James Guy's speciality. He's been concentrating more on the 200 in recent years. Basically part of that very dominant 200 freestyle team, so it makes sense for James Guy to concentrate on that 200 freestyle distance, but he's a very, very accomplished 400 swimmer as well. And he's won medals on the very highest stage, James Guy in the 400. Whiffen though has that lead, so they come down to the halfway point. Guy looking comfortable, and Harry Wynne Jones, who had a very good swim in the 1500 on the first night, taking the bronze medal behind the two Whiffen brothers. He looks like he's in third position, although going well. Luke Hornsey up there in lane number 7, who's just very close there in fourth position. But Daniel Whiffen and James Guy, the big two, Robert, in pretty good lead at the moment. Charlie Hutchison in lane 5 might come back. He had a great swim in the 400 IM last night against Max Litchfield, but he's going to have to do a little bit of work to bring himself back into A final contention. Although B final, I think, for these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swimmers is probably quite realistic. They'll all get another swim, I think, these top 6.
They'll all get another swim in the top 6, no problem at all with that. Big question is, can the top 5 all get an A star against them for this evening? Certainly, I think the top 4 will be. Hornsey going nicely over in lane 7. Charlie Hudson getting himself involved here. 2:53.81. Well, if you go down to Charlie Hutchison at 2:55.56, he's going to come back. So his finish time is around the 3:56. Also keep your eye on for Freddie Ashley Sparks. He might get just inside to get a second swim in the A final. I think he's possibly doing enough to do that.
That's him just coming into the shot now with a green cap. Freddie Ashley Sparks. He's in 5th at the moment.
He needs a flying finish to do so. Hudson now going 3rd ahead of Hornsey. Well, those 4 swimmers, I'm sure, are going to be in the A final. In fact, I think all 5, first 5 home, will be there. Well, those first 5 are all going to be back for a second swim this evening. Within Guy Hutchison.
The Paralympics in September, so they had a little bit of time off after that, so it's not quite hitting the heights that she did last year, but plenty of time for Poppy Maskell to come back this year. I expect her to be in great form by the time they get to the World Champs in September. She's right in the middle of the chasing pack at the minute, Poppy Maskell, in lane number 4. But Chloe Harris has swum this really well on the breaststroke. It'll be interesting to see the split there for Chloe Harris in comparison to everyone else on this breaststroke.
44.34, not exceptionally fast. But,
taking her away
to the
though.
rest, it's better than the rest. 49.33 down the final stretch now. She's got an entry time of 2:24.30. Every chance she'll probably slip just under that. Just inside the 2:20 mark now. Is it a wee PB? Ooh. Yeah, it's a wee PB of 1900s, 2:24.11.
That's nice, they all count.
Yeah, indeed. Anna David almost on her entry time, 25:20 was her entry time, and Coca 24.94, just a second or so slower than her entry time. At this time of the season, well, sure they're pretty happy with that. First of the seeded heats, Alice Forrest, Derwentside and Gateshead. 2, Lise Bresler, University of Bath. 3, Fleur Verdonk from Belgium. 4 is Leah Schlossen, Manchester Performance Centre. And 5, Anna Farrow, University of Bath. 6, Catherine Williams, Wickham District. 7, Emily Maxwell, Derwentside and Gateshead. And we have an empty lane. Lane 8, no show.
A bit of a delay, I think, Robert. A few delays this morning.
Yeah, what should happen is any of our para swimmers, if there is a heat with a para swimmer, technically they should then clear the pool.
Right, okay.
Probably the officials weren't fully up to speed and realised there is actually a para swimmer, we need to clear the pool.
I see. Cleared now, and they're just about to go. And that is the lineup, as you said, Robert. No one in 8. But we have the other 7 swimmers in the first of these seeded heats. Favourite will be Leah Slosson, Manchester Performance, and that entry time of 2:11.65. Few big names to come in the following 2 heats, so can't hang about too much. But again, as we've said with these cyclically seeded heats, you've got to be looking at, to be safe, be in the top 2 in this first of the 3.
Realistically, yeah, and you want to get out, and whatever your PB is, you want to be probably within about 3 seconds of it, Paul. If you're not, then you're in danger. As we had with Kieran Bird in a previous event.
Yeah. Oh, a few of the big names.
A few
of the big names not made it this morning.
Yeah, sometimes. And we've had a few that are having to settle for B finals.
Of course, we don't know what stage of the training that people are at, do we? And it's a staging meet almost for the big events to come. So I don't think big name swimmers will be too worried if they don't perform here. But you know, it's a good confidence booster for those up and coming swimmers that maybe get one over on the more experienced names, isn't it?
Yeah. Some of them may well actually be targeting this one mid-season. Certainly our Scottish-based swimmers, they'll come along to enjoy it more than a target, because in about 4 weeks from now, Scottish National Age Group Championships take place, and for a lot of them that is one of the key events. So they'll still be in hard training, so we don't expect to see too much from a lot of Scottish-based swimmers. Although some of them have actually performed probably better maybe they had hoped for. And Schlosson certainly treating this one with the respect it needs. 2:11.65. Well, she knows fine that she's well clear of the rest of the field. There you are. 2:16.84. Anna Farrell was in it at 2:16.90, and she's over 5 and a bit seconds slower than that.
Well,
it's interesting one.
Close in.
She'll probably be okay. Catherine Williams, 2:23, might have done enough to get in.
So there's the next heat number 4. 2 Irish swimmers in the middle lanes. Ingrid Elise Borgstrom goes in 1 from Randaberg. Michelle Zeng, one of the Canadian junior team. We haven't seen many of the Canadian juniors since the distance events earlier, but Michelle Zeng's back in lane number 2. Amelia Oliver from Brighton College in 3. Ellen Walsh and Grace Davison from Ireland. They go in 4 and 5. Clementina Frankova from Ostrava in 6. Hazel Ann Carter goes in 7 for Wickham. Lucy O'Brien from Limerick, 16-year-old, goes in lane number 8. But 2 Irish swimmers should be the favourites for this one. Frankova off to a good start there on the butterfly, the Czech swimmer in lane number 6. But Ellen Walsh is very, very good in the 400 individual medley. Again, semi-finalist at the Olympic Games, Ellen Walsh, world short course finalist. Just out the medals last year in this 200 IM at the Edinburgh International. But coming through very strongly now into the leads. And she swam a great 400 IM yesterday, Robert.
Yep. She'll want to be guaranteed to try and perform in the 200 tonight at the same level. She's certainly totally dominating this one. Michelle Zhang, the Canadian junior, might fancy her chances of getting into the A final here. She'll be flying at the end, we know that. You never know, third place might be within her capabilities. She's a long way off the other 2 girls, but she will finish. Well, she's got a couple of seconds to make up on Grace Davidson, so don't put it beyond her. This one's pretty well nailed on. Helen Walsh going pretty strongly indeed. A 39.04 on that breaststroke section.
Walsh looking good. 2:16.84 was Leah Slosson's time in the previous heat. She's going to be just inside that, I think. Yeah, 2:15.60 for Ellen Walsh. She'll be safely into that final. Davison, Frankova and Zeng, they're all faster than the second place swimmer in the previous heat, so they've given themselves a chance. Certainly get another swim, you would think, and with a chance of making that A final. Chelsing in 4th place is 5th overall.
Yeah,
so
nice wee PB for her as well.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And,
but Ireland 1 and 2 in that one, they should make their way into that super final.
Yeah.
All depends on these 8 swimmers, though, who's going to make that one. There's the lineup: Maria Mischenko, University of Aberdeen Performance, Paige van de Westhuizen and Susie McNair from Stirling University in 2 and 3. Abby Wood from Loughborough Performance in 4. Beatrice Farley and Lacey Roberts from Plymouth Leander in 5 and 6. Evie Mackey in 7 from Lanark, and Mary Craig from Edinburgh University. He goes in at lane number 8. Class of the field: Abby Wood, twice an Olympic finalist in this event. And Abby Wood is actually the meet record holder here at the Edinburgh International, and a time of 2:10.06. We know she's capable of much faster than that. Maybe not in the heats this morning, but we'll have she's on good form. Maybe have a close eye on that time when she comes to the final tonight, because I'm sure that Abby Wood is going to be there. She's leading as they come down to the halfway point. Beatrice Farley in 2nd position, and Susie McNair also having a good swim there, just in shot now. She's in 3rd position, but Abby Wood doing a few different events this weekend. She swam backstroke earlier on in the week, and she's gone through halfway in 102.23, Robert.
Looking good indeed, Beatrice Farley. And those two, I think, pretty well certain to be back for a 2nd swim. Question is Susie McNair going to do enough also to get into that A final? Into time for Susie, 2:17.60. Well, I won't expect her to be right on that time, but maybe a couple of seconds slower would get her another swim. Well, borderline for Susie getting in here. Abby Wood 1:40.120.
Abby Wood looking very relaxed there at the front of the field, and she's going to take this one comfortably. And I would say much more in the tank for Abby Wood as she touches in 2:15. And that is the fastest time we've seen out of all the heats. Beatrice Farley, Susie McNair should also make it. Is Susie McNair going to scrape in?
Susie McNair will be in the B final.
Yeah, just I think.
Yeah,
Beatrice Farley will be in, I think.
Yeah, Abby Wood, Ellen Walsh, Leah Schlosson, Beatrice Farley, Grace Davidson, Clementina Vankova, Michelle Zeng, the Canadian junior, and Anna Farrow. Our B final: Susie McNair, Evie Mackey, Ingrid Bogstrom, Catherine Williams, Lacey Roberts, Alice Forrest, Emily Maxwell, Chloe Harris, with Fleur Van Dunk and Mary Craig, the 2 provisional reserves. And just before we finish coverage, we'll give you the provisional junior final. Amelia Oliver, Lucy O'Brien is our 2nd swimmer, Anna David, local Coxford, Eva O'Hara Hutchison, Alice Cumming, Tegan Black, and Grace McDonald, with Kiana Kurtzer and Hazel and Carter, the provisional reserves for that junior final this evening. So thank you everyone for joining us this morning. We're back at 12:25 for coverage of Session 8. If you're able to join us, please do so. So from Paul Noble and Robert Taylor, thank you for being with us at Session 7 at the Edinburgh International Meet 2025.
Thank you, Paul. That was good. A little bit delayed. feel so tired this morning. No, I was alright. I thought it was alright. Quite a few good races there. I wonder who will come up for the finals. You'll get a few withdrawals.
Especially the last day. You might get the odd one who's maybe having to travel down to England, you know, a fair distance down in England that will decide, alright, I've got to get down to, I'm not saying there's anyone from Grantham, but that's sort of the idea. Or even
I wonder if Tom Dean will swim.
well, that's the last Miles from Seminole. She's in the B final as I think the fastest qualifier for the B final. She might